I don't know. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect. When every day is a matter of survival, I don't think you can help but be involved. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. We will shape and mold this country, or it will not be molded and shaped at all anymore.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Okay, my microphone is unmuted. Okay, thanks everybody for joining me. This is The Read, another episode of The Read, where we take a script that Ripple has created, and of course this one was written before Ripple existed, so you'll notice that in the script title page. But regardless, this is a feature film that Reagan and I wrote, and I haven't opened this in probably like a year, so I apologize if there's typos, if it doesn't read correctly, or if there's characters that are the same character that have a different name. That kind of stuff might happen. Joining me is, on top of me, is Reagan, co-writer and co-founder of Ripple. Oh wait, actually, everyone just introduce yourself so that everyone can hear your voice.
Hey, it's Reagan. And I'm playing Deb.
Howdy, Francis. Playing several characters here.
Yeah, you don't have to name each one.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ami Khan, and I'm playing several other characters as well. Welcome.
And in staying with the theme, my name is Matt, and I will also be playing many characters.
I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a 2-hour long script, so like there's a lot of characters in this, and if we were gonna get windows for every individual thing, not only would we have some people sitting in the thing for an hour and a half to say one line, it would also just nobody would be able to. Everybody would be too tiny. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. It'd be our heads would be too small.
Yeah.
We'll be
Well,
thumbnails.
and, it's LA. Y'all are actors. That might be a healthy thing for you guys.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yes.
Okay. Now, guys, this is a very
For most,
serious,
yes.
very, very serious movie. So, I got dogs. I got a cat around here somewhere. This is long, so we will take a break. But I apologize if they are noisy in the background. I don't know. Should we say a little bit about where this came from? I don't know. The patriarchy was getting to us, so we made this. Actually,
Yeah.
What's kind of interesting is the whole reason Ripple really kind of started is because while Reagan and I were waiting around to figure out how to make this giant, epic, Western noir crime thriller thing, we're like, well, we want to be able to make something in the meantime that answers some of the things that are happening in society, or that talks about them. So we created Ripple specifically to do that, so that we can have like a direct action, make short films, make news things, make documentaries, whatever, about what was going on while we're working on making Camera Obscura. Reagan, anything else? I'm gonna put this dog outside.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we can just let this script do the talking.
Sure.
I mean, I think this is the first time that we will have ever heard it out loud.
Yeah.
This is the first time that it's ever been read out loud by anyone besides Cameron and I. And we haven't even really read the whole thing out loud,
No.
like except for our writing
if you want,
sessions.
the writing sessions are available on the brainstorm sessions at least are available.
Yeah, not our actual like typees.
Yeah, on YouTube, you can search Camera Obscura movie, and then type in our names or something. That'll probably show up. We'll post a link in the thing. And then eventually this will be taken over by Ripple, and we can make it as a Ripple film as well. Okay. My dog seems to have settled. He's a husky, so I apologize.
Yeah, mine too. I think we're in a good place right now.
Okay, so.
Your dog's not a husky.
He's not gonna...
Reagan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my dog. No, yes. My dog is not a husky.
Okay.
Sorry.
My dog is, well... Genetically, they say that a Shih Tzu is one of the closest breeds in relation to the wolf.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
that totally tracks.
I mean, you see it, you look at the Shih Tzu immediately, you think.
I'm like, is it a timber or a gray wolf? You're like, no, it's a Shih Tzu. And I'm
it's
like,
a Shih Tzu. I know.
That's weird. Okay.
I know.
Love it.
I know.
Okay, so...
But they do say that. But I think that's just because of how old the breed is. But anyway.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
China, maybe?
Tibet.
Tibet. Oh, wow.
Let me pull up my scripty, and then we'll get going. Okay, there's my script. If anybody decides to chat, well, that'll be too bad because we'll be busy reading. But maybe in the halftime we can talk about it. And then let me start the background music. Like I said, you guys won't be able to hear, but the audience will be able to hear.
Cool.
That's kind of make it a little quieter. Okay, I'm gonna be doing all of the direction and all the boring stuff. Camera Obscura, originally written by Mantis, which is my original artsy fartsy production company, but now it's Ripple, so just ignore that. Okay, 2024. Interior Bowen living room, home video, 1997. Morning. Oh, shoot. Is it okay? A dorky-looking 7-year-old boy with big ears, Stevie Bowen, opens a brightly colored long birthday present. His father, Scotty, is filming on his VHS home camera. Stevie slides the lid off the box and reveals the family rifle. The boy, eager to become a man, smiles adoringly at his father. Interior gun store, afternoon a few months later. Stevie's at the counter checking out. His fingers are wrapped around a fresh box of bullets. Stevie's a little awkward but friendly. His father, Scott, is getting gas from across the street.
Your daddy's taught you how to use that?
Yes, sir. It was Grandpa's.
Well, I tell you what, this first box is on the house. Least I can do for family traditions.
Stevie stares at the cashier.
Say thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I'm plumb out of rifle bullets, so I'll be back.
The shop owner goes into the back. Little Steve is about to walk out when a slightly older, dirty, and all-around mean-looking kid, Chuck, walks by the entrance. Stevie stops and hopes to have not been seen. Chuck walks back to the door. One of y'all's Chuck.
Oh,
Oh, you're fine. I can't remember who all it is.
Thought I smelled you, Stevie.
Steve backs up.
Why are weirdos like you always so weird? Like, surely you can tell we don't like you. Can't you just be normal?
Steve looks embarrassed. He walks around Chuck and out the door. Cashier comes back and eyeballs Chuck.
Where's your daddy, Chuck?
Jail, probably. Hell if I know.
Don't be causing trouble, okay?
Wouldn't.
Stevie has returned with the rifle and is pointing it at Chuck.
Steven, put that down.
Chuck drops all
Fuck,
three-
Steve.
Okay.
Fuck, Steve, come on. What are you doing?
Stevie has tears in his eyes. He vacillates between rage and anger.
Put it down now.
Steve, I'm sorry.
Stevie puts the barrel to Chuck's chest. Chuck falls over on his back.
That's enough.
The cashier walks around the counter and puts his hand on Steve's shoulder.
Don't become this person, Steve.
Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm scared. Please don't do this.
Steve shouts in anger. The cashier lunges for the gun. Steve knocks him down, raises the rifle, and shoots Chuck in the chest. Steve is expressionless. Scott's arm, dressed in preacher affair, tussles Steve's hair playfully, ignoring the blood splatter on his forehead. Begin titles. Camera obscura. Interior kitchen, dusk. Deb puts the needle of the record on before pouring a couple of drinks. She hands the glasses to her girlfriend, Hale, a woman who is as visibly anxious as she is artistic.
Come on, you're the strongest woman I know.
That's not saying much.
What's wrong, babe? Really?
I don't know.
Hale flaps her hands.
Your friends?
Oh, don't worry. Guys love someone that looks like you. It's exotic. Hey, I worked hard for this. Man up.
You bossing me around?
Deb holds Hale's hand.
Babes, it's the future. It'll be fine. You'll be a hit.
Okay. I'm not strong. I'm exhausted.
Hale isn't convinced, but she trudges on. Interior living room evening. A few people have arrived and are settling in. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. A film of young Scotty Bowen's birthday party from the 60s is projected on a wall. Deb answers the door to an officer and his wife.
Hey, Marky Mark! You didn't need to come straight from work.
Well, the wife insisted. Gotta look good for the new boss.
Well, at least we know who's in charge. Thanks for coming.
Deb gets back to socializing. One of her older co-workers gives her a bear hug from behind. Deb laughs. She looks over at Hale, who's socializing and seemingly having a good time. They catch eyes and Deb winks. Deb stands next to the projector screen with one of her co-workers.
It was Hale's idea to play it. It's for her band. We found it in this old camera at an antique place. Wholesome, huh?
Deb and Hale stand next to each other, chatting with, presumably, the police chief and his wife. They're having a nice time.
So that makes, what, a dozen pistols Mark's gone through in 2 years?
About as many women.
At some point, this equipment is going to cost more than his salary.
Well, that's why we promoted you.
So he's out of your hair. Oh, wait.
Hey, I used to have plenty. In the 80s, I looked like her.
Police chief gestures towards Hale, who laughs.
Speaking of which, what's a fella got to do around here to get some grub? Ladies?
Hale side-eyes the chief momentarily.
Oh, good thinking. Would you care to help me?
Oh, my wife doesn't know her way around the kitchen.
I'd be happy to help.
Interior kitchen evening. Deb, Hale, and wife walk into the kitchen.
There's a cake in the fridge, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, sure thing. How am I doing?
Have you bitten your tongue off yet?
Couple clank of forth. It's fine. I'm going to play okay.
I forgot that I wrote that. Okay. The party starts clinking their glasses together, asking for a speech. Deb laughs and kisses Hale.
Okay, time to shine. Can you cut the cake up?
No problem. Knock them dead.
Hale gets some supplies out.
So are y'all excited about her new job? Oh, she's nervous, but she's worked like a dog to get here. I'm sure she'll do great. Last woman in the position was sleeping with the boys. Okay. At least we don't have to worry about that with Deb, right? Yeah, she's worked really hard to get here. I admire someone willing to put in the work, for sure. She sounds like a good fit.
Interior living room evening. Deb stands in front of the crowd who are gathered in a semicircle.
Thanks for coming, everyone. It means so much to me. Genuinely. Some of you know that I didn't grow up in the most stable of environments, and I've never really had much of a family. But all of you...
Notices the birthday party film in the background. A child is blowing out candles. Her eyes well up.
Sorry. I'm here to serve all of you. You've given me the stability I need to try and take care of all of you as...
Deb gestures to the crowd. Hale brings out the cake.
A new police lieutenant!
Everyone cheers. Hey!
Yeah.
Looks back at the birthday party film. The father, Scotty, applauds his boy blowing out the candles. The film loops back to the beginning. Interior bedroom Sunday morning. Deb has all of her uniform accessories laid out on the bed. Hale's helping her button up her shirt and fasten her tie. Hale looks exceedingly proud. Deb is anxious but feels confident when she looks into the mirror and sees Hale looking adoringly. They hug. Hale grabs Deb's hands to settle them. They flap their hands together, getting the anxiety out. Interior photo studio Sunday morning. Deb stands in front of a textured blue background next to an American flag. The photographer is ready to take her picture. Hale stands next to the camera, holding eye contact with Deb. Deb breathes. She feels good. She smiles. The lights flash, and the camera shutter clicks. Interior police station afternoon. Deb sits at her computer looking at the photo on the official police department website. Mark walks by.
First day and already running out of things to do?
It's just real now. Time to get to work.
You want me to go stir up some trouble?
Could you?
Yeah, you know me. Always looking for a fight.
Yeah. Are you okay working the night shift Thursday?
Yeah, that's fine.
What else? I don't know why I thought this town would change just because I have power. It's still a small town, still boring.
Well, it's spring break. Surely there'll be fights or an overdose.
An overdose! I would kill for an overdose.
Well, since we lost our best runner, you want anything from the kitchen?
Deb laughs. Mark pats her on the back and walks away. Most of the force is in the chief's office, hanging out. A distressed, middle-aged woman on a mission, Angela, hurries up to the Mark in the kitchen.
We're gonna get some help around here.
I suppose I can...
Do you think you can help? That'd be a fucking first. I need someone in control, not the coffee girl. I have a real serious problem in this town. Nobody is listening.
Angela starts getting louder. Mark is sympathetic. Deb looks into the chief's office and the boys are laughing, or trying to act like they don't notice. Mark points toward Deb and Angela looks relieved. Deb, however, is feeling the opposite. Mark brings Angela over.
This is Deb. She's our lieutenant. Deb, this is Angela.
Well, at least it's not raining.
What?
Hi, Angela.
Angela waits for
Your lieutenant? Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Your lieutenant? Why the hell aren't you people answering my calls?
She stands, puts her hands on Angela's shoulders, and walks her into an empty room off to the side.
Why don't you follow me and you can tell me what's going on? Can we get you anything?
You can give me some fucking cops.
Deb snaps at Mark, who trots over to the kitchen to grab a bottle of water. Interior interview room, police station afternoon. Deb sits Angela in a comfy chair and pulls up one next to her. Mark hands the bottle of water to Deb, who opens it. Careful not to detach the lid, she hands the bottle to Angela. Angela, distraught but not frantic, tries to seem composed. Deb subtly shrugs and smiles at Mark before turning to Deb.
You're the daughter of Lindy Sianji, right?
Yeah.
Is your family still running the historical society?
Yes. Can we talk about my daughter and you guys fucking up around here?
Well, I do love history. I'm a tad busy these days, but maybe I can swing by. I actually just found some neat antiques with some local history.
Lieutenant?
So why'd you come over today, Angela? You gave Mark quite the fright.
Well, I'm frustrated.
You don't say.
Deb looks out the window into the chief's office where the boys are laughing at Deb's misfortune.
Yeah. Why is it when there's a parade or chili cook-off, the entire force shows up, but when one of us needs help, nobody's home?
What's going on?
It's my daughter.
Deb can see through the window that a friendly-looking middle-aged pastor in a cowboy hat, Scott Bowen, has shown up. He heads directly into the chief's office with a small box with bow attached.
She went out on spring break with 2 of her friends a few weeks ago, but she hasn't been returning my calls, and that's unusual.
Your daughter. That's Allison, right? She was this year's county fair queen.
Right. And she always returns my calls. I spoke with someone here, and he told me she probably just lost her phone.
And she's not the type to lose her phone.
She's 22 years old.
Right.
I pinged her phone. It led to the county line sign. I checked her socials, and there's a video of all 3 of them at Gill's Gas, but none of them are answering their phones.
Okay, have you checked with the other girls?
None of them are answering.
In the background, Scott's laughing with the police chief as they open the package to reveal a bottle of moonshine.
Okay.
So why aren't you people helping me?
I don't know, but I'll get someone on it.
Will you actually? Because it looks like you're just like the boys over there. You're supposed to serve me.
Yes, Miss Sianji, I'm sorry. These institutions are complicated to navigate. I'm sure it was a clerical error. I'll work on this myself.
You and I both know how girls at that age can be, but this is unusual. For her especially. She usually tells me everything. Hell, I've met all the boys she's fooled around with.
Okay, well, I'm glad you decided to come in. I'll send Mark in to do some basic background, okay?
Alright. Thank you.
I'll let you know as soon as anything comes up.
Interior police station afternoon. Deb walks out of the room, sends Mark in, and heads to the police chief's office. Scott, with a smile on his face, leaves the office. He catches Deb's eyes on the way out.
Hey, new girl. I'll catch you around, all right?
Scott tips his cowboy hat and walks out the door. Deb smiles, waves, and heads in the chief's office. Okay,
Sorry, I lost my place.
Total of 13. Okay.
Yep.
Been here 6 years.
Yep. Been here 6 years. Thanks.
Interior police chief's office continued. Deb walks into the office where several officers are drinking from the moonshine. One of them offers Deb a shot, which she immediately drinks. Everyone cheers. She smiles.
Hey, y'all know Angela Sianji?
Oh, shit. She's been trying to get a hold of me. I have like 6 missed calls from her just yesterday. Why aren't you answering her, Nash? It's a little hard to understand over her hysterics. She thinks her daughter's been kidnapped by a cartel or something. That ain't worth checking out. We could get famous. In my professional opinion, Allison is getting knocked up by some pretty boy in Puerto Rico.
I don't know about that. Mom's just worried.
Okay, you're right. But you know how girls are these days. I'm sure it's fine. Does anyone want to check into it? I got Little League coming up.
I'll be playing Josh because they had to step out for a dog moment. I'd be interested. Y'all remember how eager we were for her to turn 18?
Oh, Deb, we're just screwing around, right, Josh?
Don't be a pussy. No offense.
It's more that I'd rather not think of you in those positions.
You wouldn't know what to do with her anyway.
No, really, I'm just joshing.
Yeah, well, I'll look into it. I think it'll be okay.
Hey, less work for me.
You okay being out in the field? Of course she is. She's one of the big bad boys now. All right. Ain't you?
Yes, sir. Except my dick's bigger.
All right, Deb. Have fun. Don't let it get in the way of your other responsibilities. You're talking to the elementary school and manning that protest.
Exterior gas station, afternoon. Deb watches Allison's TikTok. Oh, I guess it won't be TikTok anymore, guys. Deb watches Allison's crack cocaine social media of her trio enjoying their trip. Allison stops by the gas station singing a song, having fun, browsing through the snaps. The gas station attendant looks none too happy. They end up at the city limit sign and sign off. She shows the video to the same gas station attendant, Reed.
Yeah, those girls. I remember. Hard to forget.
Did you overhear if they were changing plans or anything out of the ordinary?
A bunch of horned up 20-something women celebrating how hot they are on social media? Nope, that sounds pretty normal, unfortunately.
Was there anything happening? Did anyone follow them?
I mean, everyone in the store was trying not to stare. They had a lot to look at, if you know what I mean. But nobody nefarious, no.
Alrighty, thank you.
Did something happen to them?
Probably not. I'm just doing a safety check.
Oh, they did steal a 40.
Oh? What should I do about that?
You're a cop. They stole.
Oh, sure. I'll get on that.
Thanks.
Exterior city limits. Sorry about the dog. Dusk. Deb walks up to the Leaving Waller sign. The sun is setting. Cicadas cry out. The empty road cools off after a long, hot day. Deb looks around. Nothing seems too out of the ordinary. The grass is growing, bugs are crawling, dust is floating. However, she notices a mess of flies behind some brush. Deb walks over. She pulls back the brush to see legal vomit. Deb opens her phone again, closely watches the TikTok again. Nothing new appears except she pauses the video just before it ends when she spots a car's headlights and dust trail pull up in the background. Deb puts her phone in her back pocket and looks around some more. Next to the road, there's the usual trash, styrofoam cup, paper bags, beer bottles. And then she sees a barely smoked high-end cigar, half covered in dirt. As Deb leans down, a car's headlights and dust trail pull up in the background. Upon closer examination, the cigar appears to have been stepped on and flattened. Deb puts a glove on and picks up the cigar. The vehicle's door opens and a figure steps out. There's a beautiful golden stamp near the base of the cigar. The driver of the vehicle's boots walk down the street and into the gravel toward Deb. Deb looks closer at the cigar before opening up a plastic bag and putting it inside. The driver walks behind her. Without looking, Deb suddenly jerks and tosses the evidence bag at the driver, Mark, who jumps.
File this for me, will you?
Deb, you spooked me.
You need to get your brakes checked.
Well, I just wanted to see how you were doing. I'm heading home. Chief said you were pulling overtime again?
Well, yeah.
You already got the promotion. A whistling woman and a crowing hen never come to a good end.
Nice seeing you, Mark.
Can I give you a lift?
I'm fine. Car's back that way.
All right. Well, don't work too hard. We don't get paid overtime.
Yada yada.
Can someone take over? I gotta see what my dog's barking at.
Yeah. Go ahead, Francis. You wanna?
Exterior Luke's house night. Deb parks her car in a hurry in front of her father Luke's house. Her brother Dan is smoking on the porch. Deb gets out of the car with a bag full of fast food and runs up to Dan.
Get the drinks.
You know, some families greet each other with a kiss or even a hello.
Not us, Daniel.
Dan runs to her car and grabs a handful of drinks. Interior Luke's house night. Deb, Dan, and their dad are eating fried chicken around a cop show playing on TV. Dan's playing some video game on his phone.
How accurate are these shows? I mean, they're live, so they can't be too far off.
Sure, but they're in big cities, and who knows? It's just a lot of action out there.
How do they get away with showing their perps' faces? Oh. They deserve to be shown for the public to see how dangerous it is out there. Maybe out there, Dad. You're fine out here, though. These people are all over. No, it isn't that bad. Statistics show that violent crime has gone down in every category across the board.
He says as he shoots some guy's face off on his phone.
At least it's not Chicago. There's nothing wrong with Chicago, Dad.
I got a promotion at work.
Its eyes brighten up.
So, does that make you a manager, or what is it?
At the police station, Dad.
Oh, okay. What do you do now?
Oh, I do a lot. Lots of paperwork. Clerical. But I did get to go on a case today.
Did you? Anything like this?
The TV shows the perp squealing and oinking like a pig and making donut jokes.
Oh, no. I got to stare at some vomit.
Debbie!
Yeah. Sorry. I don't think there's anything to it. A lady came in asking to check on her daughter. Actually, Dad, you might remember her. It's the daughter of Linda Ciangi.
Little Angela's gone missing?
Sorry, no, Angela's daughter.
Oh, that poor little girl.
Deb and Dan look at each other, realizing Luke doesn't totally know what it is.
Dad, Angela has a 20-year-old daughter. I know that. Okay, well, she's older than I am. Do you know how old I am?
Dan.
Old enough to know better than to use that tone with me.
Anyway, I have to go to the smoke shop and see if they can identify the cigar.
Ow, good luck. That guy that runs that is a total tool. I tried buying weed from him for my D&D group, and he totally blew me off.
Maybe I'll have better luck.
You know, I'm glad you guys are here.
Thanks. Me too, Dad.
Dan keeps playing his game. Exterior Luke's house, night. Deb and Dan stand by their respective cars. Deb is drinking on her soda, and Dan smokes.
Hey, you didn't need to call him out like that.
I'm trying to give his brain something to do.
The doctor said that only confuses him more.
The doctors are full of shit. They're still quoting Freudian psychology.
He's already lived a tough life. We shouldn't make it harder on him.
Oh, he lived a tough life.
Shut up, Dan. He's still our dad.
Do you think he'll ever admit how it really was?
It wasn't that bad.
Deb, you had it worse than I did. Don't say it wasn't that bad.
Kept a roof over our head.
Oh, fuck you, as if that's enough.
I don't want to hear it.
You know what I'm gonna say.
I've heard it before.
Then why do you fall into those same patterns over and over again?
You being a cynic doesn't change reality.
Fuck yeah, it does.
No. I don't think he'll admit it. I don't think he remembers. I hope not.
Me too.
Exterior Deb's home, night. Deb sits in her car silently thinking about our conversation. A text from Dan pops up. How are they treating you at work? Interior bedroom, night. I guess maybe you guys could read this as yeah, because maybe we'll do like a voiceover thing. Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay. Interior bedroom, night. Deb crawls into bed with a piece of leftover fried chicken. She gets a text from Hale.
Are you in bed?
Yep.
Deb takes a selfie with a big bite out of the chicken. She sends it to Hale.
I'm going to marry you.
It'll be your job to clean up my crumbs.
I gotta get back to twerking.
I wish you were here.
I'm having fun.
Yeah. It's fun here, though. I had a weird day.
Hale doesn't respond. Deb gets anxious.
I love you.
Deb gets a text of a video of Hale performing on stage, winking at the camera, then blowing a kiss. Deb stares at the kiss, her feeling of separation anxiety overwhelming her. She texts Dan.
Same old.
They don't know what you do for them.
What does that mean?
I can't do that. Deb sets her phone down and stares at the camera lens before falling asleep. Interior living room morning. Deb walks downstairs and finds Hale with a box of donuts on the kitchen table. Hale is watching the film again. Hale sees Deb and kisses her good morning.
Chocolate breath.
Hey, so I had an idea at the show last night. I think I can use this for a band backdrop as well as the music video.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're working on a couple of new tunes about youth and growing up, how Columbine happened when we were in our formative years, then 9/11, then the recession.
Oh, so it's a upbeat number.
It is, actually.
So what are you looking for?
That's the weird thing.
Okay. Well, okay, look.
That's the 7-year-old's birthday party, right?
How can you tell?
The cake.
Yeah. So what?
I digitized this video when we first found it. I have it on my phone, and check it out.
Hale shows the video to Deb. It visibly shows a number 6 on the birthday cake.
Maybe he just wore the same outfit the year before?
Do you know how children work? Plus, there's a fresh stain in the exact same place.
Well, laundry is a woman's job.
Really? Besides, the version on my phone was digitized from this film. I haven't touched it since then. It's just been playing on loop.
Wait, what was that?
What?
Yeah, look. Do you remember this?
As the birthday boy opens his presents, a woman in the video starts walking inside the barn in the background. The camera starts to move toward the woman in the barn.
What the hell? You're seeing this, right?
Yeah, how... Did you add something?
How would I even do that? You're the artist.
Suddenly, the film ends.
Whoa.
What the fuck? Where's the rest of it?
The projector starts up again. The film runs as usual. Hale opens the video on her phone. Both versions of the film play more.
Okay. We're taking a break.
Why?
Because... What the fuck, you dum-dum?
Alright, I have to get ready for work. Thanks for bringing over the breakfast. I know you had a long night.
Yeah, do you mind if I take a nap? I just wanted to see you before.
Of course not.
Oh, you said you had a weird day. Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, no. Don't worry about it. I'll update you later if anything interesting happens.
Okay. Love you.
Hale stretches out on the couch and makes a cartoon sleep. Interior police station morning. Yeah. Deb walks into the police station. The boys are getting their cups of coffee. Everyone seems cordial.
How's it going?
Fine. Hey, do you think you could come with me to a smoke shop at lunch?
Dash walks up and pats Mark on the back.
What are you two lovebirds chatting about?
I'm following up on this case.
Oh, that's right. Did you break it wide open yet?
No.
Well, give it some time. They're not all winners.
I'm sure she'll be fine, Nash.
Oh, Mark, hey. Chief wants you to come with me to find these crackheads chopping up those cat converters.
Sure. Sorry, Deb.
Sorry, Deb. Hey, could you give us a bigger per diem today?
What's the chief think about that?
Hey, Deb, why is it even with a promotion you're still in charge of the fellow's lunch?
I brown bagged it.
That's the only thing you've been brown bagging lately.
Oh, there's my girl.
Yeah, she knows me.
Hey, you know what? We're going after work to celebrate. Well, hell, because we want to get drunk. You in?
Let me check.
Oh, yeah, check with your girl. It'll be fun.
I'll let you know.
Interior Chief's office, afternoon. Deb brings her phone to the chief. It still has a frame of the barn from the film.
How's the case, Kevin?
Oh, I'm trying to reach a couple of Allison's social media friends. Waiting to hear back from someone named Georgia, but that's not what I wanted to talk to you about.
What's up?
You recognize this place?
It's familiar. I want to say that it burned down.
Police chief looks around for someone in the office and spots Josh sleeping in his desk.
Hey, watch this.
Chief points at Josh. Deb looks over. He picks up the phone, dials a couple numbers, and yells to the mouthpiece.
Josh, get in my office now!
Josh wakes up, falls out of his chair. Deb and Chief laugh. Josh meanders.
Hey.
Yes, sir?
Hey, you remember that old barn on Locust off 290?
Yes, sir.
That burned down, didn't it?
I think so, boss. The Bowen family. It burned down a few years back.
Probably still has some bones standing. What you looking into?
Oh, it was in that film I found I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah. That old party thing.
I was just curious.
What the hell are you doing, Josh? You can leave. Get back to work.
Josh sulks back to his desk.
Alrighty, thanks.
Hey, we're proud of the work you're doing. Really taking the bull by the horns.
That's what the money's for.
I don't know if any of y'all have watched Mad Men. That's my favorite quote from Mad Men. I'm just totally different
Nice.
context, but
Yeah.
Mad Men is like a feminist masterpiece, and there's a whole scene about like, oh, that's what the money is for.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing, but hey, that's what it's referencing. And the
You've
Yeah.
still got to take the plunge.
TV nerds.
Yeah.
We'll love that. Anyway, hopefully we don't get sued. Interior evidence room morning. Deb stands over the evidence bag containing the cigar snub. She snaps a photo with her phone. Interior smoke shop afternoon. Deb speaking to a spindly, bearded man at the smoke shop.
You know what the chief smokes?
Something smoky?
Well, I know he's a bourbon fella. Maybe a My Father Le Bijou, 1922.
Duke goes into a cabinet and pulls out a couple of individually wrapped cigars and hands them to Deb.
Here, hand these over to him.
You're lucky I'm the person that logs or doesn't log personal gifts to the record.
Is it luck?
Good point, Duke. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
That promotion come with cop duty?
I've always been an officer.
Shoot. Don't take that literally.
Duke tries to show himself. Deb doesn't seem impressed. Deb holds out a photo of the cigar in evidence.
Do you recognize this brand?
Duke's demeanor changes.
Yeah, David off Royal Release Salamones. These are too expensive for us to carry. Really good cigars, though.
How expensive?
Box will set you back $1,000. We don't have men of a refined selection around these parts.
No?
No.
Where would someone get them?
Oh, a lot of places. Just not here. Try poking around outside of town.
Alright. Well, if someone comes knocking, let me know.
Oh, I know how to get a hold of you. Your office is pissing distance from my apartment. Oh, no.
Interior living room evening. Deb comes back home from work and sets a bucket of fried chicken. She loves chicken. On the table next to you, engrossed
Hungry.
She's watching the film again. The little boy's eating cake all by his lonesome.
Rojo did it first.
Deb throws a piece of chicken at her head. She responds.
You know, if you were an art loser, you'd find my humor really clever.
Hey, not to break your trance, but do you want to go out for drinks tonight with the work crew? We were invited.
I mean, sure.
Cool. Get your best hoochie dress on.
Nah.
So what are you watching?
This kid has been eating his cake for over an hour now.
These film reels only go for how long?
Like 6 minutes?
Right.
Deb unplugs the projector.
I'm cutting you off. Let's eat.
My precious wife. Where would I be without you?
Interior bar evening. Deb and Hale are having a fun time. There isn't anyone from work except Nash, but the atmosphere is fun. Hale's dressed down from her usual self, but she's also having fun.
So I'm in the end zone celebrating. My whole team comes over. We're all cheering.
Yeah?
Hale's drinking on the side, but her ADHD
So
is
I'm jumping. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm jumping up and down. The fans are cheering. Rah, rah. I'm half drunk on adrenaline and half on beer. Zero comes over, tries to pick up by the waist.
Deb elbows Hale to pay attention. She does so with a polite smile.
And of course, instead of me being lifted, it's my pants that are dropping.
What?
Yeah, and I didn't even notice. So I'm just still jumping.
Yikes.
They weren't expecting that kind of celebration dance.
And of course, I wasn't wearing any underwear. So I'm just out there flapping around, poking eyes out, you
You're
know?
lucky it wasn't cold.
That would have been a real shame.
I'll have you know, more than a few cheerleaders were impressed.
Nash signals to the bartender for another round.
Well,
Not us.
I think y'all would be surprised.
don't.
Anyway, after that, they put a moratorium on touchdown celebrations.
I wish I could have been there.
So, Hale, what do you do? Something arty, I think Deb said.
Oh man, she's so good.
Oh, yeah, I'm a musician, singer. I've got a new project I've been putting together.
It's really good. It's like this whole. Well, you tell him.
Oh, it's just kind of leaning into abstract Thank you. Iconography and instrumentation. It's been really cool to explore these sounds that I've never had before. I used to be in a punk band, so they're all these muscles I haven't been able to flex.
Yeah. No idea what that means, but it sounds neat. I'll have to come to a show.
Sure. Yeah, Deb can let you know next time we're playing.
Consider me your groupie.
Hear that? You already have a groupie.
Nash tells them to clink their beers together before drinking a little more.
Now, in the age of Me Too, do you reckon groupies still get to party with the band?
What?
Hale throws a good party.
I bet she does. You guys thinking about having an after party tonight?
Huh?
It might be fun.
Are you?
Eh?
Shut
Yeah?
the hell up, Nash.
Hell, this is worth a shot.
They continue drinking and having a fun time. Hale watches the TV, not having fun. Interior car evening. Hale drives home and Deb laughs.
Can you believe Nash?
Well, yeah. Yes and no.
Oh, he's harmless.
Is he though? It wasn't a little creepy?
Yeah, but that's the joke. He doesn't mean anything.
So you don't think he's gonna go home and think about us together?
Well, hell, why shouldn't he? We're hot.
Deb leans over and kisses Hale.
It just makes me uncomfortable. He's like fetishizing us.
Oh, the guy's just a teenager. He's probably never met a lesbian before.
That's what I mean. It's weird. And he's a coworker. So where was everyone else?
He probably didn't want to come.
Wonder why.
Don't take life so seriously, really. It was harmless. If he meant it, he knows I would have clocked him.
Hale stays quiet. She doesn't believe Deb. Deb puts her face on the cold window. She looks outside as the pasture goes by.
Cows.
Power lines dangle in the wind. The moon illuminates wispy clouds that rush overhead. Cornfields grow. Suddenly, Deb leans up.
Hey, pull over here.
You gonna puke?
No, well, maybe, but I want to see something.
Hale pulls over. Exterior field, night. Deb and Hale leave the car. The air is still, it's beautiful night. Deb spots an old barn in the middle of the field.
About that after party.
She walks towards the barn. Hale follows.
This is the barn from the film, right?
It does look like it.
Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Deb takes the phone from Hale and tries to turn the flashlight. She can't.
Fucking iPhones.
It's an Android.
Fucking robots.
Deb manages to turn the flashlight on as they get close to the barn. Exterior barn night. The barn is weathered. It's old, but there's no sign of fire damage. The front doors are cracked open. Deb and Hale walk inside. Hale is suspicious, but Deb's having fun. Interior barn night. The moonlight spills into the barn. It's really musty. It feels empty. Deb kisses Hale and suggestively puts her hand around her hips. Hale holds her hand and pulls her away. Deb leans against an old beat-up car and kisses Hale. Hale accidentally bends the hood ornament back. They laugh and kiss again. Deb's trying to be romantic, suggestively pulling on Hale, but she's not really in the mood. There's a second story to the barn. Hale looks up but can't see anything. Deb sits Hale down on a hay bale and kisses her romantically. Hale hears a noise.
That's a tongue twister right there. Sorry.
Hale hears a noise coming from the rafters and pulls Deb off.
Don't worry, I've got my gun.
Deb starts to kiss her again. The noise of nail gun goes off upstairs. Hale and Deb jump. Deb pulls her gun.
Stay here.
Hale hides behind the car.
Police? We'll be out of your way if this is your property.
Hale watches as Deb creeps up a ladder. Deb can't see very far in front of herself. There are hay bales everywhere. Deb rounds the corner carefully. The floors creak. Hale gets chills on her spine as she watches the flashlight fade from upstairs. Hale doesn't know if it's safe to call out. Deb hears a rustling. Suddenly another nail gun. Hale jumps and looks around behind her. Deb comes to a clearing where there's a lit cigar next to a bottle of milk and a map with various street corners marked out. Deb sneaks to a more secluded area and walks upon a guy building the base of some structure upstairs. He's wearing a hoodie and headphones. Deb's flashlight spooks the man, who trips over the cord of a work light, falling backwards, landing his hand on a rusty nail sticking out from a 2x4. He rips his hand off the nail.
Don't move!
The man grabs the nail gun and fires it towards Deb, who falls backward next to the map and cigar. The man jumps out in front of the barn before running away, clutching his hand. Deb grabs the cigar and map, jumps from the hayloft downstairs, twisting her ankle and hobbling out the front. The man's nowhere to be found.
Deb!
Deb walks inside and comforts Hale. She looks at the cigar, and it's the same brand she found before. Deb escorts Hale out of the barn and in her arms. Sitting alone in the barn, under cover of shadow and hay, a lonely heart monitor beeps slowly. It's not a lonely
What the
heart
fuck?
monitor. It's a lonely heart monitor, guys. That was when I was reading that. I was like, are we doing a Beatles thing here? Anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Interior police station afternoon. Deb goes to the evidence room, grabs the cigar bag, and starts to box it up at her desk. Mark comes over.
What are you working on?
Sending this to forensics.
Nash is sitting at his desk and overheard.
You got a break in the case?
You want me to break your nose? There's DNA on this.
Hey, that's cool if you found something, but while you're at it, can you check this pen for DNA?
Another cop chimes in.
Maybe this bottle of shine?
Will grabs his cup out of the trash.
Check this too, will you? Since everyone smokes around here and drinks. Good luck.
He tosses the cup towards Deb. Deb is confused at the playful hostility Mark notices.
All right,
Mark
guys.
picks up all the trash.
Deb, go on in here.
Interior police chief's office continued. Deb walks in carrying her evidence box.
Don't mind them. What do we have?
Deb hands the box
I was checking out that barn you told me about last night.
I didn't give you authorization to do that.
I stumbled upon the barn.
All right.
Found the same brand, freshly smoked, sitting in there. Twisted my ankle trying to get out of there.
I noticed. Go get that checked out, will you?
An expert told me these are expensive brands that aren't even sold in town. So what were they doing in this abandoned location and at the crime scene?
Crime scene. What crime's been committed?
Well,
All right. I know a hunch when I see one. I'll send this off to forensics for you. Might take a couple of weeks, though. They're backed up.
thanks.
All right. Go get that foot checked out. I've got a lot of paperwork for you.
Exterior police station parking lot morning. Deb hobbles from the police station directly next to the door of the family medicine building. Interior family medicine morning. Deb sitting at the end of the bed with her foot raised. The doctor's nowhere to be found. Through the doors, there's commotion. Deb can hear words like tetanus shot and suture the wound. Finally, the door knocks and comes in. Doctor knocks and comes in,
Sorry for the holdup. What happened?
Twisted it chasing a perp,
Sounds dramatic.
all in a day's work.
Doctor twists. Deb grimaces.
Hurts?
How could you tell?
How bad? 1 to 10.
Probably a 7 or 8.
You sure? You walked in here on it.
I hobbled.
Can you stay off your foot for a few days?
I don't know, maybe.
It's probably fine. It's just a minor twist from what I can tell.
You sure? It seems pretty swollen.
Yeah, in my experience, these aren't so bad. So it could just be some minor inflammation. You should be okay after a couple of days.
Okay, I think I can keep off of it.
Good girl. It's safer at the desk, you know.
Fighting for justice, Doc.
The modern woman. So determined.
Dr. Lee.
How is he?
Exterior Scott Bowen's home morning. Deb walks swankily up to a nice-looking farmhouse. She peers through the window and spots Scott dressed in pastor attire, wiping a tear from the face of a young woman, Georgia. Deb rings the door.
Oh. Just a minute.
Deb notices the peephole looks like a tiny camera lens. She gets closer to it. The focus ring on the camera readjusts. Deb jumps. Deb gets a text from Hale. It's a screenshot of a nasty review of her band complaining that the lead singer is a lesbian. Deb's thrown for a loop. Scott opens the door.
Lieutenant, good to see you.
Sorry to bother you, Father. I wanted to talk to you for a minute. Your family owns that barn off the highway, right?
Are we in trouble?
I just have a couple of questions.
Come on in.
Interior Scott Bowen's home morning. Scott invites Deb in. George is nowhere to be seen.
Can I get you anything?
I'm fine, thanks. Anyone else home?
Oh, my son's girlfriend, bless her heart, they got her in a fight or something. Teenagers.
I remember.
Sit on the couch.
What's this about the barn?
Yes, sir. Well, I wanted to apologize. I was looking around in there last night.
You were?
The door closes in the hallway behind Scott.
Yes.
Find anything interesting?
Well, I mostly just wanted to apologize.
Oh. What for?
Well, I was looking around in there.
What were you doing? What interested you in that old thing?
Actually, I found this old home video.
Pulls the phone up on her phone.
I was inside a camera from the 60s I found at the antique store. My girlfriend digitized it.
Oh, yeah?
The birthday starts to play. Scott smiles.
Hey, I remember this kid. Gosh, This is amazing. Could you send this to me?
Sure thing.
Things aren't what they used to be, huh?
No, sir.
So, what does this have to do with the barn?
Well, the barn is in the video. So I was driving and wanted to see it in real life, but when I was there, I accidentally tripped and bent the hood ornament on this old car in there. So I wanted to stop by and apologize and offer to cover damages.
Oh, you did.
Scott thinks to himself. Georgia walks into the hallway behind.
I'm just getting water.
Oh, you know what, Deb? That's fine. Don't worry about it.
You sure?
Yeah, see, we get vagrants staying in there from time to time anyway. I'm surprised that old thing hasn't been stolen for parts.
All right.
Deb gets a phone call.
Is there anything else?
No, that... Sorry, I should take this.
Scott stands and gestures for Deb to leave.
Hey, Angela, thanks for returning my call. Do you have a minute we could talk?
Deb walks out the door. Georgia comes from out of the kitchen and looks at Scott. Interior, our place, afternoon. Angela has a table reserved for Deb, who comes limping in with a folder under her arm. Deb sits down and waits, and a waitress drops off coffee.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks for seeing me.
No problem. I was starting to worry you were ghosting me. You have an update?
Well, not exactly, but I have some questions. Do you smoke cigars?
Oh, no. Gave up smoking a decade ago.
Okay. I can't give too many details out, but you lived here your whole life, right?
Feels like longer.
Deb opens the folder and takes out the map.
Do these crosses mean anything to you?
Angela looks at the map.
Well, we got the highway, a few crossroads. This leads out of the county. This is in the middle of nowhere, I don't know.
Angela flips it over. There's 5 sets of seemingly random series of numbers. 45, 3B, 2808, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 4, 2.
You don't recognize those numbers, do you?
Sorry. I don't know. Phone numbers?
No, I thought that too. I thought 2808 was an address, but the only one around with that number was an empty lot.
What can you tell me about my girl?
I'm working on it.
You don't think they're on vacation, though?
I can't say. The evidence doesn't give me much to go on. Can you keep your ear to the ground?
Angela's eyes start to well up.
All right. Just treat me like a person. Nobody tells me anything, but I can see it on their face. They all think I'm overreacting, but they won't tell me. Why doesn't anyone communicate? I don't know if I'm crazy or when they're judging me.
You're not crazy. Strong emotions make weak people uncomfortable.
That explains a lot.
Don't worry. I'm looking into it. Would anyone want to take them? I know girls tend to post a lot of themselves on the internet.
Angela resents the implication.
In my experience, that doesn't matter.
The waitresses are wearing full apron and nothing too revealing. Still, patrons leer.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Well, thanks. I'm about to go talk to their parents.
All right. They've not been helpful to me. Sherry's father keeps trying to get me drunk.
That's what the badge is for.
A badge isn't a shield.
Sure it is.
Deb takes a sip from her coffee. Interior Feigl house, afternoon. Deb takes a sip from some tea. She's sitting across from a table from Vanessa Feigl, the mother of Audrey, one of the missing teens. The Feigl household feels quite upper middle class.
I didn't realize the police were looking into this. Should I be worried?
I don't believe so. I'll keep you updated. I'm just looking into a few things for Angela.
Oh, I see. Okay, bless her heart.
What does that mean?
Oh, nothing.
So, did Audrey have anyone that might want to hurt her?
Only the county queen runner-ups, that Georgia girl, but she fell off the face of the planet years ago. I don't know. Everyone?
So she's popular.
Well, she's gorgeous. We're very proud of our daughter.
Does she take trips like this normally?
Not often, but occasionally. We'd never send her somewhere she'd be in danger. Angela's just always stirring something up.
Is that so?
Well, not my place to say. But you can't choose your daughter's friends, no matter how much you may try.
You didn't like Allison?
Oh no, Allison is a peach. Actually, can you follow me?
Deb sighs and agrees. They head to the father's office. Vanessa points to a photo of the three friends hanging out next to family portraits.
I'm sorry Derek couldn't be here today. He's away on business. He wishes he could, though.
Well, he can always call me.
So here's a photo of the three of them at graduation. Audrey was an honor student. She's going to UT this semester.
Deb notices a box of cigars on the shelf.
Does your husband smoke?
Oh, that? Oh no, that's a gift. He's more of a scotch drinker than a cigar smoker.
Okay.
Vanessa gets a knock at the door.
I'm sorry, that's book club. Do you have everything you need?
I'm not sure, but I know how to get a hold of you.
Well, feel free to stop by. Just call first.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Feigl.
Mm-hmm.
Interior car afternoon. Deb sits in her car and looks at the map. She gets a call on her radio.
All right. So your last girl, Sherry's pop, is at 411 Hay Meadow. Well, that's where we last had to make an arrest on the guy, at least. That's up past 49 and round by the old Greasy Spoon. You know that one?
Deb runs her finger along the map and realizes it goes through one of the marked off roads.
Yeah, I know it.
That's a bad area, and he's wily. You want me to come out?
I'll keep you in my back pocket.
That's where I like to be, out of the way of trouble.
Exterior crossroads, late afternoon. The area starts to get a little less serene, a little more trashy. Deb passes by plots of land that are littered with junk cars and trash. There are lots of potholes in the pavement. She gets to the spot where the map indicates something. She pulls over and gets out. As far as she can tell, there's not much to look at. She notices a couple of trailer homes nearby, one of which has a man sitting on the porch staring at her. The other has a cute family playing in the front yard. She waves at the man. He has no response. Exterior Binus home, late afternoon. Deb pulls up to Sherry Binus's residence. It's an older home that has not been kept up. There are several wrecked cars out front, as well as children's toys and an old swimming pool. Sherry's father, Harry, comes out smoking a cigar and drinking moonshine. His body language is a little too friendly.
Let's make this quick, lady. I'm about to finish off this shiner.
Mr. Binus, thanks for talking with me.
Harry gestures for her to sit in a couple of hard plastic chairs in the front yard. He puts his hand on her waist to move her over. She limps over.
Alright, you chasing boys so much you got a sprained ankle?
Sorta.
Alright, what's Sherry got herself into now?
I just need to ask about her friends and her trip.
What trip?
Her trip with Allison and Audrey.
Those queers. Yeah, that makes sense they'd run off together. What did she do?
She didn't do anything. She just...
Takes the cigar out of his mouth and lights it again. Deb notices it's the same brand as the one in evidence.
Do you smoke those regularly?
I'm a man of refined selection.
You're a what?
You middle-class motherfuckers may not realize this, but I can have taste too. I listen to Frank fucking Sinatra.
Where'd you get that cigar?
None of your fucking business, lady. You gonna ask about my kid?
I'm an officer of the law.
Do I look like I give two shits? I got a right to talk to whoever I want and shoot anyone on my property I choose.
That's not how the law works, Harry.
Harry stands and puts his hand on a shovel sticking out of the ground.
Questions come later.
Deb stands. Harry pulls the shovel out.
You think you're hot stuff because you got a badge? Does that compensate for something else? Huh?
I assure you that's not the case.
Then why the fuck don't you stop bothering me? I mean, let's fuck or get out of here.
Where'd you get that cigar, Harry? I know you can't afford it.
Fuck you say? You ain't got no idea what I can afford.
Maybe you'll be more cooperative after your house gets repoed.
Now who's getting all tough? That's cute. My boys at the club would have fun with you.
Harry walks towards her. Deb puts her hand on her taser gun.
Not too close.
I'll have them come on over and meet you, maybe.
Harry motions toward her, and Deb fires her taser into him. He collapses. Also, Harry sounds a lot like Tom Waits, which I get for this vibe. That sounds great.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
It works.
Interior car evening. Deb drives back. The sun's almost totally set. She gets to the cross-marked road. Now there are men digging on the side of it. She stares at them. They stop what they're doing and stare back. One of them nods. Deb keeps driving. Exterior, countryside, evening. The moon rises. Critters crawl across dead-end streets. People... I gotta read all this. People settle into their homes for the evening. A lonely country bar kicks out a drunk for being disorderly, who immediately shouts at some passing women. A large pasture of corn stalk is harvested by an auto tractor. The lights illuminate dust caking into the sky. The blades tear up the ground and spit out corn. The shredded stalk turns red and blood joins the dust cloud as the tractor tears up a body.
Oh.
If you need to tag out, I can read some of this. There's a lot of it,
We're actually almost exactly halfway through, so we might take a break here in a second.
Cool.
Especially because this is a pretty good cliffhanger section.
Yeah.
Exterior hospital night. A cell phone video shows the back seat of a beat-up car, the same beat-up car that Deb and Hale were against in the barn. Sherry Binus, one of the kidnapped women, is pregnant in the back seat, but she's bleeding profusely, waist down. The camera operator walks around to the back seat passenger side of the car, pulls Sherry out, gets back in the driver's side. He honks the horn and drives off before the video shuts off abruptly. Interior barn, night, 1963. The film walks through a dark and musty barn. There are several nude women standing in a crowd, covered in mud, facing away from the camera, looking ashamed. And let's take a break. We'll be back in...
What the fuck?
12 minutes, guys.
Woo! Well done.
That's what, 5:25, something like that?
Yeah.
We'll be back.
I'll call it 10 minutes. Use the loo, as they say in England.
Yeah.
The Mario Lou.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say two quick things. When you say cow, I love that. That is what I would say if I was driving by cows alone at night. I would just be like,
Totally.
cows.
Absolutely.
And second of all, my note next to Harry, all it says is drunk Tom Waits.
That's so awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is
There
perfect.
you go.
Oh my god.
That Frank Sinatra line is fucking awesome.
I listen to Frank and fuck
Very
Sinatra.
well delivered too.
Frank fucking Sinatra.
Okay, he's got style.
So good.
It's so good.
Okay, we'll
So
be
good.
back
All right.
in 12 minutes.
All right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Heard. Thank you. What?
Yeah.
See y'all in a few.
When every day is a matter of survival, I don't think you can help but be involved.
Continues the quiet
An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times.
Art is political in the most profound sense, not as a weapon in the struggle, but as an instrument of understanding of the futility of struggle.
We will shape and mold this country, or it will not be molded and shaped at all anymore.
I suppose a lot of people want to know more.
Are you Sarah?
That's something the news reports aren't telling you. Even in death, they don't let you choose who you are.
Perhaps you heard about the woman that had died recently on these roads.
That hospital turned her away, even though she was hemorrhaging.
What if I can't give them the life they deserve? I don't know why I'm not happy.
Must face death to bring children into the world. She must raise them, care for them, and pilot them safely to the threshold of manhood, and she must be a companion, a sweetheart, a wife, and a mother.
The end of schooling is not the end of learning. Knowledge of the ages is available to all. foreman will always have the eternal feminine to contend with, Joe. A foreman will always have the eternal feminine to contend with.
She's a woman. Aren't they really just a part of life? Part of a woman's life, maybe. Give her to somebody else. I asked for a man.
We all come together in the name of God with the anthem of hope and unity, and in the power of faith to make a difference and create positive change in this world we live in, and especially our community.
It still has a pulse. It doesn't matter.
The doctor said it's not viable. There's something wrong.
You said that, but we legally can't do it.
I want you to put it in my file that I have been in severe pain and have been bleeding for 2 weeks, and you refuse to treat me.
Okay, I'm gonna write down an address, but legally I can't recommend we do anything other than the current treatment plan. Just don't be more than 15 minutes away from a hospital.
Hello? Where are you?
They turned me away at the hospital.
Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. Come on home.
Can you pick Emma up from school? I'm out of options. I have to do something. No one will listen. There isn't anything anyone will. None of this is okay.
when every day is a matter of survival, I don't think you can help but be involved. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. We will shape and mold this country, or it will not be molded and shaped at all anymore.
Like, just like, that's a good girl. And Desk is
It's
better.
right.
I'm just like,
Like,
oh.
That's how they are, though.
Right.
There's a lot of
It's
misogyny
true.
and grossness. I mean, it's the South, but you're in Alabama, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, got some pretty heavy. I don't know if I'll throw Handmaid's Tale
Yeah.
into the conversation, but
Yep.
well, I guess I just didn't I?
Yeah.
Can't lie about
and it's very appropriate to do so. Yes.
Yep.
That's one that
Yep.
I've actually never seen because everyone says it's so depressing and there's like no levity in it whatsoever. And I'm like, I just don't want to put myself through that, like emotionally. Like, I get it.
To be honest, I haven't gone through it either. It was like right off the bat, I was like, this is so depressing.
Yeah.
The books are really good, though. I would recommend at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reading
Yeah.
those before they get banned as well. So you know.
Right.
Alamo
No
Drafthouse
shit.
currently, speaking of banned books, is they might have ended it in January, but for all of January they did a 1 a week film series of banned books. So it was Clockwork Orange, To Kill a Mockingbird, and then there were 2 others. I think there was a feminist one, and then there was a something other. But I was like,
That's
hey,
cool.
they weren't like specifically being like, hey, it's because you know what's coming up, but it's like
it's true.
Like I said, my dogs are outside. Let me make sure he's still in the yard, and then we'll get back going. Yeah, he's just laying down. This is sounding great, guys. I so appreciate y'all's work. Matt, sorry, there's not a whole lot of speaking. I kind of just threw the parts together, not thinking of how they'd be spaced out throughout the script or not. So sorry about that. But
No, man, it's all good. I'm enjoying myself. I'm glad to be a part of it. It's fun. Thanks, man.
Yeah, everybody's doing a great job. I think everyone is just it's
fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
We need this in many ways.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well, there is. I mean, even though like in the world, or in the script so far, there's not been like big dramatic things happening yet. That's all the second half. But like it's been, there's a lot of conversations happening that can be brought up. Like if this was like episode 1 or something, it still says so much about patriarchy, about internalized misogyny.
Totally.
It still
Absolutely.
says a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Anywhoots.
Covers a lot.
Whenever I was like 13 or something, watching 2001: A Space Odyssey for the first time. They had an intermission like included on the DVD, the original intermission. That was the first time I had ever experienced an intermission, and then I saw the first one I ever had in theater outside of like going to the drive-in was for The Hateful Eight, and they had a built-in intermission stuff as well. And now The Brutalist has an intermission, and we just did an intermission. And I'm just like, guys, can we bring that back? There's something so
Bring back the intermissions.
so fun about it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but
I like that. You know.
Well, Well, it also had people who talk about what they just
Yeah,
saw
for sure,
during
and
it.
then
You're
get
like, well,
themselves hyped
that gets the psychological aspect going with people, and it's enticing.
And it just makes sense. It's cool to make a 3.5-hour movie. If you've got a
Right.
story that takes 3.5 hours to tell, fantastic. But
Yeah.
most people aren't. It's not necessarily an attention span issue.
No,
It's a
no.
gigantic soda issue, and I can't sit through the entire 3.5 hours. I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss something if you don't give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like there is something to giving people just some time to stand up and stretch, even if it's not like you can get a fucking blood clot. From sitting too long. You
You
know?
might not remember to wear your compression socks that day. You didn't
Exactly.
think about it going in.
It's a health issue, a health and safety issue.
It really is.
You know, I mean, yeah, truly though, I think like when I just all the, you know, SAG screeners are here now, and it's nice to be able to watch these 3.5 hour long movies at home, because you can pause it and get up. Not that I'm saying we should all still go to the movie theaters, I'm not saying, but that's one of the reasons why I do like to watch movies at home, is because you can.
About like, okay, I'm not gonna miss anything because I have 10 minutes. Here
Right?
where-
Yeah, I hate missing something. Yeah.
Ditto.
And I love a good long epic movie, but I mean, I
Yes.
usually have to, you know,
You gotta take a tinkle.
Nature calls.
You gotta take a tinkle.
They need intermissions on airplanes, I tell you, because
Yes.
you know,
Absolutely.
you've got nothing to do but like drink little airplane bottles, and then you have to go to the bathroom, and then every
Exactly.
time you come back, it's like timed out, and then when you try to load the video, it just like won't load right, and it,
Well, you know, airplanes. They used to
First world
in the
problems.
Nice airplanes.
Yeah.
They used to have like lounges, and like you could just like get up and walk around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Mad Men style
oh my
back in the day.
Yeah.
I miss the days when you could smoke on an
And you
airplane.
just
yeah.
seatbelt.
Right.
Yeah, and if you didn't like it, sit in the non-smoking section of the airplane. You weren't gonna smell it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no smoke over
I don't
there.
trust air I can't see.
Yeah. Yeah, now they just put that smoke in there that comes on when you're sitting on the tarmac, and it doesn't smell like anything. That's very
Exactly.
suspicious.
Yes, a
Okay.
little
Oh
mist.
Lord.
Okay,
All right.
let's get back into this.
All right.
Turn the score back on. Where are we? Okay. Scene 46. Interior living room evening. Hale is watching the film closely and on repeat. There are several dead projector bulbs around the ground. All of the lights are in the house are off in the house. Deb comes in through the front door. She's distressed. Deb spots Hale transfixed. She approaches and gently puts her hands on her shoulder before kissing the back of her head. Hale holds her hand.
Been here all day.
Peed a couple times. Don't worry, I bought diapers.
So, how's hyper-focusing going?
Hale gets up and points to the screen. One of the women in the film is standing there, smiling directly at the camera. The film stock is so old, there's a red halo around the edge of the left side, where the light leaks.
Do you see that red glow?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's called halation. It happens on old film where the light bleeds like that.
Okay, so what about it?
Watch.
As the woman in the film smiles longer, her face becomes more worried. The halation grows. Soon enough, expanding a few inches, is a red, mirrored face of the woman, except the reflection is screaming.
Jesus.
Yeah, it keeps repeating the scene, almost like she's trying to speak out to me.
Deb and Hale stare at the film in silence. The reel starts over and the woman is gone. It's back to the normal old blue. Hale relaxes and turns the projector off.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Had to tase a crazy guy.
You mean you got to tase a crazy guy? What happened? Are you okay?
Yeah.
This fucking guy sent you into the field.
Oh, I went out myself.
Okay, what happened?
Hale walks over to the TV, turns it on. Deb and Hale sit next to each other on the couch. The television showing the local news. A news anchor cuts into the cell phone video.
This video, uploaded anonymously on a forum on 16chan showed Sherry Binus, who was thought to be on vacation with her friends until yesterday. The police and her father, Harry Binus, are soon to go live with an update on the situation. In the meantime, we have an internet expert here to talk about why the video has gone viral amongst a certain part of the population.
Just this crazy guy. He doesn't care about his daughter. He doesn't care about anything from what I can tell. I mean, your kid has been missing for 4 weeks. You don't want to maybe cooperate? I swear, if it were me.
I know.
And I'll pass this over to Harry.
Angela and Sherry stand behind the police chief and Harry. Harry steps up to the microphone.
Thanks, everyone, for coming.
And then on my way back, wait, that's the fucking guy I tased.
Are you serious? He looks pretty good for getting electroshocked.
Oh shit.
This ain't been easy on any of us. As y'all know, the baby was miscarried, but she's doing okay.
The news conference shows the cell phone video side by side with the press conference.
That's the girl in the video. She had a miscarriage. Are they going to let her talk?
Doesn't look like she wants to.
I'm glad she's back, but this ain't the girl that left. This ain't the girl I raised. I was a good daddy to her.
In what way, Harry?
I don't want nobody harassing me or my reputation. I raised a good girl. I didn't raise no slut, okay? I just want to get that out there. So, okay, that's all I gotta say.
Fucking prick.
Fucking prick.
I mean, y'all can say it together. That'll be fine by me.
I like that.
That's pretty bad.
I didn't mean to take it offline, but God, yeah.
That worked. No, that was
The
great.
whole I didn't raise no slut line just fucking, oh my God, it just goes all over me.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When there's a line in the dark noir that we wrote a couple weeks ago, and it's another one of those lines that, like, as a director, I can't wait to get to that part in the movie. One, just so the actors can, like, really sink their teeth into that line, and also
for sure.
the reaction of it, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a great moment right there. Okay.
Deb looks at Sherry in the background, who is despondent. The reporters shout questions.
What does this mean? Okay, what are those girls missing?
Deb sits back on the couch, confused and angry.
Are they? What happened to you, Sherry?
Exterior police station morning. Deb is walking into work. There's a lot of commotion going on. Chief walks by.
Hey, Deb. Reckon you could head over to St. Luke's? Owen Scott is having issues with that permit paperwork.
Really? Shouldn't we be trying to find those girls? Sherry, she's...
That's where I'm headed. But the city don't stop just because a runaway got dumped.
Chief, shouldn't I be assigned?
Well, no offense, but this case is a little out of your pay grade now. Besides, you gotta talk to Scott. You issued him the permit in the first place. We still gotta maintain that, personal touch.
Sir?
I'll keep you appraised. But what you do is what you're best at. What you gotta do is what you're best at. That personal touch.
Well, you know what they say about pastors and their personal touch.
Help him out, Deb.
I like it.
Very.
Yep.
Interior St. Luke's Church morning. Deb shakes the hand of Scott, all dolled up and ready for his work on stage.
Thanks for coming out here. Sorry, I'm just finishing up for the teleprompter. You watch my show, right? I know it's only cable access for now, but...
Yeah, sure. I hear you have some questions about the permit.
What do you think about this Sherry and Harry situation?
Oh, I can't comment on...
It's a sad situation all around. That poor girl and that poor baby.
Pastor Scott, you know she was probably raped.
I'm gonna be praying for her and that lost child. Speaking of which, I was wondering if we could, what do you call it? Upgrade the permit.
What do you mean?
Well, we've got our right to hold signs and tell those baby killers what we think of them, but I certainly don't want to block traffic. Any chance we could get a police presence to guide traffic? I mean, we got a lot of our members attending. Susan's making pie.
We generally try not to get too involved in hot button issues.
Sure, but I mean, God forbid one of these women runs on into traffic and injures a baby, or one of us.
Well,
consider it a favor to the chief. You can do that for this community, can't you?
Okay.
Splendid. Glad there's a good woman out there on our side.
What's the address again?
34578 Bernard is the clinic, so we'll be set up across the street around 2011 or so, that general vicinity.
34578?
Yes, ma'am.
Deb thinks to herself and suddenly gets in a hurry.
All right, I'll draft some new paperwork and send it over to you, yeah?
Excellent. Thank you.
Deb takes the permit and stands up to leave.
I'll talk to you.
God bless.
Oh yeah, you too. Thanks.
Deb hurries out the door into her car. Interior car afternoon. Deb looks at the list of random numbers on the back end of the map, and sure enough, 34578 is on there. She locates the address on the map and notices a red cross blocking off either side of the street. She sits and thinks about the other numbers. Exterior car lot afternoon. Mark investigates the bottom carriages of vehicles. He's holding a notepad, jotting down some information. Next to him's a car lot owner. Deb approaches.
Mark.
Give us a minute, will you?
The lot owner spits and walks off, nodding at Deb.
You up to date on your shots?
What?
All the metal?
Hey, you remember any details about that one house that burned down a year back or so? The one over on Locust? I was working front desk, so I didn't really see much about it.
Oh. Yeah, what about it?
Do you remember the address?
Something like 2808 Whispering Creek Drive or Lane or something.
Good recall. I'm impressed.
Deb looks at her map, and sure enough, that's another one of the numbers.
Oh, yeah, well, it was a friend of Joanne and mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
It's all right.
What was it? Gas explosion or something, right? Someone left an iron on?
Mark looks around, pulls her deeper into the car lot.
Yeah, no. That's what the fire chief and investigator said, but I thought it was a little sketchy.
Why? Because nobody irons these days?
Well, because it was where Joanne and I had an abortion.
Deb's taken aback.
Oh, Mark, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Oh, no, it's fine. Kids shouldn't be having kids. Heck, I still shouldn't. Anyway, it was run by this midwife, and it was always under the table. Worst kept secret in town, but it wasn't a real house. Ain't nobody using an ironing board in there.
Can I get you or Jay anything?
Well, she'd probably not like that information out there too much, so just keep it to yourself. What are you working on?
Suddenly, a loud noise comes from under one of the cars in the car lot. Deb and Mark round the corner. Georgia, the woman who'd been evading Deb, crawls out from under a car with a hacksaw in her hand. She's filthy and disoriented. She sees Deb and Mark. She runs. Mark looks at Deb.
Legs busted.
Mark rolls his eyes and runs up and easily tackles her.
Fuck you, pig!
What's your name?
I ain't gotta answer your questions!
That's true, but this is private property, and it don't look like your car shop.
Deb walks up. Mark turns around and starts to cuff Georgia.
I know you.
Oh, you like it from behind, huh? You gonna rape me like those other pretty girls?
What?
You cops don't fucking care about what happens to us. You just collect your paychecks and our taxes and go and shitting on us.
You pay taxes?
What did you say about those girls?
Mark turns her around.
My boyfriend's gonna take care of you for this. He's right. You don't pay any fucking attention to us unless it's to arrest us.
All right, let's take you downtown.
Okay, Mark. Downtown?
I thought it sounded cool.
What have you heard about... what have you heard about the girls?
I ain't saying another word except fuck you.
Please, I just need to know.
Gives her a chance to say something.
No? Okay, we'll see how you feel at the station.
Mark starts to take her to the car.
Let me know when you get done processing. I have some questions to ask her.
I noticed. Will do.
Mark walks with Georgia in cuffs. Deb limps the other way, passing a lot owner who's chewing tobacco. Exterior, countryside, afternoon. Deb holds the map in one hand and drives around the road marked on the map. The sun heats the roads, crows caw. The roadkill cooks. Sure enough, every mark on the map, there's been some work done on the road. Mostly just digging. Some chairs have been put out. There are a few bags with concrete in wheelbarrows. At the last stop, she sees a group of sweaty, filthy men digging and measuring the road. Deb hangs back and watches from her car. Most of them are drinking beer, watching one guy do the heavy lifting and visibly making fun of him. Lots of high fives. Then a 30-year-old beat-up car pulls up. Out pops Harry with 3 jugs of moonshine for the fellas. They all greet him with a big handshake and grin. Deb leans and watches. Harry gets back in his car and Deb follows. As she passes the construction guys, they give her evil looks and sneer. One spits moonshine at her. Harry drops off the bottles at various spots in town, each time emptying his trunk. Exterior, nibbles and bits. Afternoon. Harry opens the trunk of his car, walks up to a seedy-looking doorman outside of a trashy strip club with a neon sign with a woman on a leash and the slogan, "Heel, bitch!" It's a classy place, guys.
Nothing but class.
They got a dog.
Yeah.
Yes. The two shake and smile. Harry pats him on the back. The doorman walks inside, grabs a dolly, and helps Harry load the last load of moonshine into the bar. Deb is parked down the road. Harry comes back outside and shuts his trunk before going back into the club. Deb picks up her radio.
Mark, it's Deb. You out there?
Yeah?
What do we know about nipples and bits?
Reckon you know more about those than the rest of us. I've never been. They're a bunch of troublemakers. Not my kind of place.
What do you need, Deb?
I got a suspect delivering illegal goods into this location.
What kind of illegal goods?
Shine.
Can you pick us up some?
You don't need to bother with it, Deb. That place is dangerous for a gal like you.
Is that an order, Chief?
Not really, no.
Deb, I have a lead about those cat converters being sold out of that place.
Okay, you can check it out. Be careful. Don't need a couple of dead cops on my hands.
We wouldn't have anyone to fill out the paperwork.
No problem. Thanks, Chief.
Deb gets out of the car and walks towards the bar.
Wait for me.
Okay.
Deb walks up to the doorman and stops her.
Hey, no cops, motherfucker.
Deb takes off the badge. A man holding a bloody bandana to his eye storms out of the bar angrily, giving no mind to Deb.
I'm off duty. Harry's in there. Owes me some of that shine, motherfucker.
Doorman grimaces and lets her in. Interior, nibbles and bits, evening. Deb walks in and nearly chokes on the cigarette and cigar smoke. She draws attention to herself. Looking through the smoke, through the dancing girls and the alcoholics, she spots Harry disappearing into a back room. The smoke is so thick she can practically see the film being projected onto it, which will film it will be literally projected onto it.
Mm-hmm.
An intimidating grizzled man walks through the smoke and steps up to her.
What motherfucking business you got in here, cop?
Lot of motherfucking around here. Why? Lot of motherfucking around here. Why is that? Harry owes the chief some booze, if you'll excuse me.
I don't think so.
Deb walks through bare. He grabs her by the shoulder. She wasn't anticipating confrontation and is visibly surprised.
Seriously, it's all good, big guy.
Why don't you good old boys ever help us when we need you? You're only ever around to bust our balls.
Do I look like a good old boy?
Smells like a duck. I don't give a fuck.
I don't think that's a thing, but it should be. It sounds like. Interior living room evening. The projector starts up on his own and plays the film. Inside the barn, Grandpa Stephen has taken his shirt off. The mothers are kneeling in a semicircle around his waist. They're slowly caressing the backs of their two heads. Interior bar continued.
If anyone on the force is going to care about your balls, it's me.
All right. That's what I like to hear. Find your boy.
Bear lets her go. Deb steadies her hand from the adrenaline. She continues further into the bar. A young cocktail waitress eyes Deb before delivering a pitcher of beer to the group of middle-aged bikers smoking the expensive cigars. The bartender grimaces at Deb before doing a line of coke. A woman comes up from under the bar and wipes her mouth. One of the men spots Deb.
Shit! I always liked the girl in uniform. Why don't you hop up on the stage, sugar?
On the table, under a bunch of food and trash, is the map with the cross marks. Deb sees it and walks over, eyeballing the map. One of the men stands.
Can we help you with something?
I'd like to ask y'all a couple questions.
The fuck you want?
You sure you can talk while you're sucking this cock?
Question 1. Are you sure you can get it up anymore?
The table laughs. Deb gets a little closer to the table and sees a photo of a business-looking woman pinned to the map on one of the marks next to the edge of the county. 3B is scribbled across the bottom. Man 2 notices Deb looking over their things. He covers it up.
Get your nose out of our shit, huh? The fuck you need, lady?
Man 1 walks over to her, stands between her and the table.
I'm just looking for Harry.
Does it look like he's here?
No.
Damn right.
Man 3 picks up a baseball bat and walks over to Deb. Deb notices the back room open. Harry's in there hitting on the young waitress.
Hey, you want to feel some real wood?
Bear comes back and grabs her by the arm and pulls her away. Interior barn night, 1963. In the film, Stephen stands in the dirt while a woman holds a metal pitcher over her head. He closes his eyes, leans his head back, and the woman pours milk out of the pitcher over his face. He smiles. Milk flows under his sunglasses and into every crevice of his sunken face. Exterior nibbles and bits. Night. Deb gets thrown out of the back. She walks around to the front parking lot and checks for Harry's car. It's gone. She walks to her car and gets in. She sits in silence and anger.
Hey, Deb?
Yes, sir.
You okay?
Aren't you supposed to be backup?
Yeah, I got caught up with that girl from the car lot. She posted bail.
Say anything?
Quiet as a mouse. But her name is Georgia. She's got a rap sheet as long as the day is long.
All right, thanks.
Deb puts her head on the steering wheel and sighs. The young waitress, Charlene, knocks on her window.
Hey, lady cop.
Deb jumps. Exterior bus stop night. Charlene takes a puff off her vape.
What you want with Harry?
He owes me some shine.
All right. Well, that's bullshit. Nobody calls it shine.
I got some questions for him about his daughter.
Oh, what's that girl up to?
She's missing.
What's Harry got to say about that?
I'm just trying to know more about her. If she had anyone that might want to hurt her and her friends gone.
Last I heard, her and her friends are on vacation. What makes you think they're missing?
Did you know them?
Nah, I mean, I saw them around. She'd be around when I was with Harry, but they were a year behind me, so I never really knew them. Are they missing?
Can I ask you something? Why are you around all those nasty guys?
Shit, lady.
Deb.
Deb. You know this town. Girls like me do what we got to survive. So as long as you can act like these guys are hotshots, play their game, I can make enough tips. I can make enough in tips. I've got a boy. I need to pay for,
Are you in college or school or something?
Education is for people that can dream.
No, you can help yourself out of here.
So these girls are missing. You heard of Victoria Walsh? Vicky?
The film shows close-ups of a woman's eyes darting back and forth before a potato sack is pulled over her head.
I haven't.
Figured. She was a hooker who'd worked the bar. Nice gal. Last year there was a few months she went missing. Fellas at the bar were looking for her. When she finally came back, about a month or two ago, she said she was kidnapped and the guy knocked her up before dumping her in the field.
The film shows a nude woman covered in grime, pregnant and stuffed into a small cell fashioned out of a cattle pen.
Was it Harry?
Puck, no. He's a cocksucker, but he's not like that. She never said who it was, just some young, lonely guy. She wouldn't say much about it. Seems spooked. Haven't seen her much the last week or two after she really started showing signs. Shitty thing is, nobody came looking for her the whole time. I was the only one that seemed to care, except for the boys trying to get their dicks wet. Shit. I was gonna give her some of my boys' clothes. Oops.
Where is she now?
Skip town, I hope.
You don't have any details about the guy? You sure it wasn't Harry?
Shit, that boy's too drunk off stump water to get his pecker up, and too stupid to kidnap a girl. You wouldn't know pregnancy works.
Charlene, can I help you somehow? Do you have a safe place to stay?
Why is it nobody poor says money won't buy happiness?
I want to help.
That's sweet. Don't be patronizing.
Oh. Sorry.
Bus pulls up.
Would you be okay with texting me if you think of some info for me?
Deb hands Charlene a card.
Thanks.
Text me if you need anything, okay?
Alright, babe.
Exterior Luke's house, night. Deb pulls up to her dad's home. She gets out and limps inside. Interior Luke's house, night. Luke is watching some cop show as Deb walks in.
Hey, Dad.
What happened to your foot?
It's fine.
Are you sure? Come over here, put it up.
It's fine.
Are you sure?
I'll make it work.
That's my girl.
What's new?
Oh, same as it could be, Deb should be back with some dinner if you want to stay. It's been so long since I've seen you.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
So, I've been meaning to ask you.
Yeah.
Have you been chatting with any boys?
No, Dad. Are you hungry?
A little, but Deb should be back soon.
Deb goes to the kitchen and pulls something out from the fridge.
Meals on Wheels came by today then?
Yeah.
Deb puts it in the microwave.
How long has it been since I've seen you?
Deb walks over.
Oh.
Last time I remember, you and your brother. Why were you fighting? Did you ever stop arguing?
Yeah, we figured it out. It's okay.
What happened?
Dad, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Did you ever come looking for me?
What do you mean?
After Dan and I left, why didn't you call or, I don't know, something?
I don't know. I got busy. I got laid off, and you two seemed like you had it under control. I didn't want to bother you with my issues.
We were kids. I was 15. I didn't have anything under control.
What? No, you just needed to extend your wings and fly. I understand that. You were capable. You have my work ethic.
I was not ready for that responsibility. You didn't teach me anything like that. You worked so much. You weren't around to teach me, and then after Uncle Rusk moved in...
Oh, we don't need to...
Rusk made it worse.
He willingly put a roof over all of our heads. I couldn't work. That's why I'm so proud of you. You have a servant's heart.
You could have... We could have managed.
Rusky is a good man. Don't talk about him like that. All I had was work. When I lost the job, he came in to help. That job gave my life meaning, you know? I know you left the church after, but it was important. I really felt part of something.
Dad, you could have been part of our family.
It goes quiet. The microwave goes off.
Well, honey, I tried. You know me. I tried to be a good man. I tried to live by the word and humble myself. But some of the other guys, I was a good man. I just wanted to make things right, and I don't know why the other men weren't living that way. I tried to tell the pastor.
Deb's tears spill out, but she doesn't lose composure.
Pastor Scott.
I shouldn't say.
Dad. You don't need to be so sweet. You're martyring yourself for no one.
I just want to live a good life, honey. The one time I tried to speak up, it got me fired, and then it pushed you away.
You never pushed me away.
I couldn't provide for my family. That's the one thing a man's supposed to do. I couldn't protect you.
Luke cries in Deb's arms.
Why couldn't I protect you?
I love you.
Love you too, honey.
Interior Deb's home night. Deb comes home and finds Hale asleep on the couch. The projector's off. Hale wakes up.
Hey.
Hey, babe.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing.
What was it? Work?
No. I went and saw Dad.
Well, I could have guessed that.
Plus these men at this... Ugh.
Do you want to talk about it?
Deb shuts her eyes. Hale holds her head, similar to how Deb held her father.
You can talk to me.
I'll be fine.
You don't have to be tough around me, you know. You're not like the guys at the station.
You think?
No, that's why I love you.
Deb sits up.
Those men are some of the strongest men I know.
What does that mean?
They're such hard workers for this community. They're wonderful husbands.
Well...
No, don't. They're good people. I wish I could be as strong as they are. They don't go home and cry and stress their wives out.
Okay, Deb.
What?
Well, what do you mean by strong? What does that mean to you?
What could it mean? They're tough. I'm just not. I'm in over my head.
Debbie, you're confusing brawn and coldness for strength. Those guys don't treat you right.
Fuck you. They are my friends.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's okay, babe. I'm just saying with everything you've been through in your life, you're way stronger than they'll ever be.
That's not true. Can you please just support me? Just listen to me instead of trying to criticize me?
I'm not. No,
it's okay. It's okay.
You're not hearing me. You don't have to prove anything to them. They're just country bumpkins that don't mean anything.
Don't mean anything? I've worked so hard to get here.
Yeah, twice as hard as any of them. I moved here because I admired that about you.
So why don't you respect me?
I didn't say that.
Okay, could you go home tonight? I've had a long day.
What?
It's just, I just need some space. It's okay. I'll be fine.
We can talk about it. Let's be strong and...
No, I'm fine.
Okay. I can't say I'm surprised. They've got you all twisted around in your head. Just... You don't owe those men anything. You're not who they think you are.
Who is that?
Honestly, Deb, I wish you had that figured out before we met.
Hale leaves. Deb picks up a coffee mug and throws it. Interior Deb's car at night. Deb is driving through the town to clear her head. The people of the town are settled in. She passes by Scott's church, and for some reason the parking lot is full. She pulls in. Interior St. Luke's Church, night. Continuous. Deb walks into the church expecting to see a congregation. There's nobody around. She walks down a hall. Nobody. She goes to Scott's office. The lights are on. His coat is around the chair. The laptop is open. Deb hears music coming from the laptop. It's a religious-sounding chant, but distorted. Next to the laptop is a legal pad with the top piece of paper torn off. Deb slowly opens the computer to see a video of a group of robed men standing in a boardroom chanting, and crowded around Steve, each with a hand on his shoulder. The robed man darts past the office door. Deb puts her hand on her gun. She exits the office. Nobody is there, but the chanting reverberates down the halls. She follows the noise. As she goes down the hall, she looks through an open door and into the chapel and sees another robed man running down the aisle and disappearing behind the stage. The chanting echoes, distorts, and gets louder. She opens two doors into where she thinks the meeting is happening. It's another hallway. The chanting stops. There's a cracked door. She slowly, quietly walks to the door and peers in. There's a robed man just on the other side of the door. She can't tell exactly what's happening, but they're all praying for something. Nash rounds the corner in police uniform. He spots Deb. She doesn't see him. She tries to get a closer look. He puts his hand over her mouth and shuts the door quietly. Interior chapel night continuous. Nash and Deb argue.
They're fucking praying in there.
Don't act like you're religious.
I'm not, but I respect them.
Since when do you carry respect for anything? Did you respect me and Hale the other night?
Since I knew how to do my job and investigate this case.
I'm investigating.
You were taken off, Deb. I'm your replacement. They're supposed to tell you in the morning. What the fuck are you even doing out here at night? Why are you here?
Mad, confused, and speechless.
What?
Sorry, lady. You need to be able to take better care of your shit.
Deb, infuriated, storms out of the church. Interior police station morning. Deb, still mad, clocks into work, limping around.
Hey, Chief wants to see you.
Don't I fucking know?
Mark doesn't want to interfere. Interior chief's office morning. Deb walks into the chief's office, trying to seem cordial.
Chief, let me ask. I was...
So, there's a pile of work on your desk.
I know. I know. I'm sorry, sir.
We feel like your mind has been elsewhere.
Well, yeah, trying to solve the case. I was literally just...
You're not the lead investigator anymore, Deb.
Sir?
And you ought to take a look at that foot of yours.
I'll catch up, sir. I'm sorry, but if you don't mind, Nash is terrible. He can't.
I'll tell it to you straight, Deb. I'm gonna need you to take a sabbatical.
What?
I'm not firing you. Don't worry. Just take some time off. Take care of your mother.
Yeah.
Or your father.
What about the case? I'm still waiting on the forensics.
Police chief acts as though he's just been reminded of something. He accidentally gestures behind himself, causing Deb to look over his shoulder where the cigar evidence bag is still sitting.
That won't be ready for a couple of weeks. Plus, you can't be running around on that foot. In the meantime, Josh said he's going to take over your desk for a while. He's excited to get back to his old job.
Chief.
Now, don't get emotional. You're still getting paid. But, I'll need your gun and your badge. For now.
Deb shuts the world out. Interior our place afternoon. Deb sits in a booth not eating her food. She texts Hale if she could talk. It's the fifth such text in the last few hours. Deb visibly stresses after no response comes in again. She gets a text from Dan and smiles for the first time in a while. Interior Luke's house afternoon. Deb walks into the living room. Dan's patiently waiting, remote in hand. Luke is sitting in his recliner. He's not saying much, but he can sense the tension in the room. He's still feeling a little rough from his conversation
Deb, you gotta see this.
Dan hits play. The police chief stands in front of Nash, Scotty, and Harry giving a press conference.
As per Texas Health and Safety Code, Chapter 171.004, the county has officially filed suit against one Sherry Binus over negligent care of an unborn life. While understanding the trauma that she's been through is a factor, we have decided to allow her to forego bail and stay at home to await trial.
Stares at the screen in shock. Dan is enraged.
I can't believe it.
I can. He's fucking.
Luke watches the screen and their reactions.
I know. That poor fucking... What can we do? They can't...
Deb and Dan get more enraged.
Hey, Dan, it's okay. Stonewall?
Stonewall.
Luke watches Deb and Dan hurriedly leave the house. He stares at the old colleague, Pastor Scott, on the screen. Luke gets a look of determination deep in his eyes. Exterior rock wall afternoon. Deb and Dan sit on the rock wall as like they have their whole lives, familiar with every crack and every crevice. Dan looks at Deb, knowing not to ask questions.
So, how you been?
Can I crash at your place?
Of course. Let me kick all the ladies out.
You wish.
Maybe if you'd set me up with some of your friends like you promised.
What friends?
The ones you always said you'd have once you settled down?
Is that something we do?
No.
Why not?
It was beat out of us by society, by beer, by work.
The Rusk.
Yeah.
You ever think about what would have happened if things were different?
You mean if literally every point in our lives hadn't led us here?
Yeah.
What's the point?
I guess to escape.
Well, we've definitely seen too much of reality.
I'm sorry, Dan. I feel like I should have done more to protect you.
You did great, Deb. You were a kid. You were tough for the both of us.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have needed to be.
Those are the cards we're dealt.
I never was good at poker.
Yeah. Maybe if you were, we would have been able to leave this shitty little town.
Deb sighs heavily and leans her head down. Dan puts his hand on her back.
You know, you don't have to define yourself by who you're taking care of.
They sit quietly and listen to the wind blow. Deb gets a text from Angela.
Who's that?
A friend.
Is he cute?
Deb snickers at him. Exterior bits and oh, okay, that's supposed to be the strip club. Change the name.
Bits and tits.
Bits and tits.
Great title. All of them.
Luke,
That's a sub shop.
Okay, let my dog in. Hold on.
That's the mobile service.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Door to door.
Yeah, that's the
Bits
to go.
Bits and tits, straight to your door.
Straight to your door.
Good old bits and tits. Sounds kind of Nabisco-y.
Luke's followed Pastor Scott to the bar. Luke is mad. He wants to set things right for his daughter, for his past self. Scott walks into the bar. Luke waits a few seconds, stews, and follows behind. Interior Angela's home, morning. Deb walks into the living room where Angela and lawyer Lee Greenwood are talking at Sherry. Angela gets up and greets Deb.
It's a lawyer. You're going to behave yourself today, yes?
Deb pushes past Angela.
What the fuck are we gonna do about these men trying to fuck up the lives of all these women in this country?
Greenwood smiles.
Hey, that's the kind of passion and energy we need to win this case.
This is Lee Greenwood. He's Sherry's lawyer.
Now, I know I wasn't y'all's first choice. I get the feeling y'all would have gone with those girls, Bexby, and Barnes, but since their firm is closed, I'm probably the best you'll get.
What's in it for you?
Oh, I hate the county boys. I've fought against different ordinances they've put up against the citizens. Nothing as high profile as this, but...
See, Sherry?
I've also got a daughter of my own about your age, so my heart broke when I saw that video of you being so mistreated.
Sherry isn't responding.
Great. So what's the game plan? How can I help?
Well, that's what I was discussing with Angela. Her father is on the side of the fetus.
Why is he so obsessed with his legacy?
And as Sherry is still in shock, there's not a lot for us to go on. There's not a lot for us to go on or defend ourselves with. Sorry, Sherry, that's just the facts.
What about the truth?
Starting to get mad. Sherry is too.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, it's
Yes. Angela filled me in. Now, Deb, while that's a very engaging story, we don't actually have any evidence to support your conspiracy theory.
There's something there, Greenwood.
Can you prove anything outside an amorphous evil?
Not yet.
Then it's gonna look like you're grasping at straws to make a point.
Right here. Oh. Sorry. Take that back to the top of 92.
not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not yet.
Then it's gonna look like you're grasping at straws to make a point.
Everything around here was built on straw.
So until we have more intel, I think our most winnable way forward is one of two things.
What's that?
Well, we either take this to the Supreme Court, but that's a years-long process and the way things are, or we admit some fault but not culpability. If we're lucky, we can find the father and pin everything on him.
Admit fault? How does any of that protect Sherry?
Well, we do have to be clever.
Deb.
It's okay. It isn't an ideal scenario. I just know how the court is stacked these days. There aren't a lot of juries that listen to unwed young mothers, especially now that the talk screening came back not looking so great.
How am I supposed to...
Honestly, Lee, none of this is Sherry's fault.
No question. We need a good story that doesn't place too much blame on her.
So what's the story?
Well, she's a young mother from an unstable home.
That makes her trash excuse for a father look bad.
Exactly. She was just trying to find a way out. She deserved a break after life was beating her down.
Great.
Deb looks at Sherry, who's despondent on the couch, as Greenwood and Angela start to develop a story around Sherry. Deb backs out of the room. Sherry looks up at Deb. They lock eyes. Deb's face has the look of sheer determination. Interior, nipples and bits. Or bits and tits, I don't know. After... Whichever one's funnier, I guess. Luke is inside the bar looking for Scott. He sticks out like a sore thumb, though most people don't seem to notice him. He goes to the bar because it feels familiar.
You okay, old man?
I'm looking for an old friend.
The bartender signals for Bear to come over. Bear walks up.
Who are you?
Luke tries to be friendly.
Hi there. I'm just looking for a friend. It's okay.
The thing about this club is we're all friends. So if I don't know you, that means you're not a friend.
No, really, it's okay. I'm looking for Pastor Scott.
Bear grabs Luke by the collar and pulls him away from the bar to the poker table where the few others are waiting.
Now, why would this old man be looking for Scott Bowen in this bar? Does this seem like the type of place to find a pastor? Ain't no God in here.
I'm sorry. He's just...
He's what? What are you... Oh, I don't think I'm Jack.
Oh.
Either way.
He's what? What are you doing asking questions? I can't remember.
Oh, no, he can't remember.
I'm sorry. I have a memory. I just need to talk to get a load of this, Beta. It's for my daughter, I think.
And who's your daughter?
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I can't think straight.
Scott comes into the room.
How is Deborah, Luke? Long time no see.
Exterior cheap apartment. Afternoon. Deb's talking to Charlene outside of her apartment. There are children yelling, loud noises coming from the paper-thin walls, and train horns blaring in the background. Charlene smokes a cig while her kid hangs off her leg.
So, I was working last night, and that guy, he's that country pastor guy you see on TV all the time, Scott Bowen, Scott something.
Yeah?
Anyway, he comes to the bar. He sticks out like a sore thumb, but I ain't never seen him before. He comes in all chummy with the boys and passes something around.
Could you see what it was?
Yeah, it was a little photo of those girls you've been asking about.
What? Really? Why?
Well, I suppose the Elks Club is fundraising for them or something. That Angela lady, the mom, she's been going around town asking for donations to conduct her own investigation.
Fucking Angela. The Elks?
You ain't been doing your job, hon. Now mom's all mad.
What do you know?
Well, my man told me they meet over Wednesday to go over stuff. So I bet this would be part of it, over at the Elks Club. You know where that is?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I'm gonna head over.
You know what?
If they're getting intel on the case...
Deb, the last time you did that, you almost got your ass beat. Now those fellas won't do that to you, but it's a men's only club for a reason. Ain't no way a cop is gonna show up and get answers.
Well, I'm not technically a cop right now.
Oh shit, for real? Alright. Well, shoot.
Charlene laughs and looks at Deb.
Fuck it. I ain't working today. Come on in, let's make you a little more, well, like you belong.
Interior cheap apartment afternoon. Charlene and Deb look through her closet together, picking out an outfit that will draw attention. They fix her hair and makeup.
What if they know me?
Hun, these boys think silver fucking eyeshadow is a natural shade. They won't notice anything except your tits and hips.
Interior Elks hallway afternoon. Charlene gets buzzed into the Elks Club building. Deb and Charlene are holding drink trays.
Follow my lead, okay? You just have to go with it with these guys.
What's that mean?
Interior Elks entry afternoon. Deb and Charlene round the corner and are greeted by a clean-cut, older man sitting in a chair, smoking one of the cigars.
Hey!
Oh, sorry.
How are you?
Nope, you're good.
My bad.
Hey, the entertainment's here.
The old man grabs Deb and pulls her onto his lap. Deb's visibly uncomfortable. Charlene sits on the other side of his lap and gestures for Deb to keep moving. Deb gets up and continues into the other room. Interior Elks party room afternoon. A bunch of men smoking, playing pool, are having a great time with several young women at their side. They all eyeball Deb.
Who's the new girl?
Another man whistles. Old man 2 gestures for Deb to come over. She takes a breath, smiles, and walks over. He holds up a cue ball.
Go on, honey. Give us some luck.
Deb looks confused until he holds it to her mouth. She blows on it.
Atta girl.
Sets a cue ball down and breaks.
Strikes!
He spanks her.
Good girl.
Hey, do you know where Scott is? Oh, hey, do you know where Scott is?
She doesn't want to be into it, and she's not into it.
Yeah, oh, I know. Sorry, I just...
No, you're fine.
My brain was thinking.
He shouts to the other side of the room.
Hey, Chuck. You know where Scott went off to? His girl's here.
Chuck gestures.
Head on over to Chuck. He'll take care of you. And come back over after you're done with him.
Thanks.
Deb walks over to Chuck.
Oh, yeah, I'm, Oh, wait. Sorry, that's Chuck says something. Sorry.
No worries, I was looking to see if I was on the list.
Yeah, my brain, got distracted here for a second. I'm
no worries.
Getting back on track.
Hey, you need something?
Oh, yeah. I'm his personal assistant. I just needed to get him to sign off on a few things.
He's upgraded his secretary. Good for him.
That's me. I'm the upgrade.
Sure. All right, he's through here.
Chuck opens the door into a darker room. Interior Elks meeting room, afternoon. The meeting room is smokier. There are only a few windows where the light spills in. All the men in expensive suits are meeting at a table. Deb sticks it to the back of the room where some of the other cocktail waitresses are.
We've got 5,000 for the mom.
Right. We can print up some posters or something. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. We'll put our best men on it.
Yeah, just brings that. Right. Typical. The modern woman can't keep her legs closed, and we pay the price.
Well, we don't want to run the town to panic. That'd ruin our plans.
Deb's ears perk up as she moves around the back.
All right. Motion to end this and move on.
I motion.
A second.
All right. Next order is the plan. Nice segue. Thanks. All right, now, how are the nipples and tits boys doing? Blockades are almost finished being built. They've agreed to be manned for the cause. We'll keep them happy. Where's Scott?
Deb looks around. Scott's standing in the back, but steps up.
I'm making them feel like royalty. Don't worry. But we need to hurry along our plans. I've just been made attention that, let's just say, our walls are more thin than we thought.
Great.
Deb walks toward the crowd. Man 3 pinches her. She jumps. Scott notices and may recognize her. Before he can react, one of the cocktail waitresses whispers in his ear. He looks concerned and leaves the room. Deb follows behind.
I've been told the Triple B target is ready for launch before the election.
Deb's ears perk up, but she spots Scott dip into a stairwell. She leaves the room. Interior Elks Hallway, afternoon. Deb spots Scott pull a man out of the stairwell by the arm and down the hallway. The man has a bandaged hand that's starting to bleed from the center. Deb follows. Scott pulls him into the kitchen. Deb can hear them screaming at each other. As the cook leaves, the door swings open and Deb sees the man punching a wall with his bloody hand. Scott gestures as though he's had enough. He yells some more.
I told you! You're kicked out! You can't just...
The door closes. Deb inches closer. Suddenly, Scott rushes out of the kitchen, but not before spotting Deb and winking at her. She's startled.
Say hi to your pa for me.
She goes into the kitchen, confused. Interior Elk's kitchen afternoon. The man isn't there anymore, but there's a bloody handprint on the wall behind Deb. Deb hobbles further into the kitchen. On the other side of the kitchen is the man stands, staring at Deb while wrapping his hand up with a kitchen towel. Deb limps on her bad foot. She spots the man eyeballing her. He recognizes the injured foot. She knows he knows. She runs out of the kitchen and he chases after. Interior Elk's hallway afternoon. She runs as fast as she can on the bad leg. He's gaining behind her. She dips into another room. Elk's storage room. Deb hobbles through a storage room, wheeling something in front of the door before leaving out the back door. Party room. Deb runs through the party room past the man who are hooting and hollering. The man follows closely behind her, stealing a pool stick from the table.
Be careful with her, Steven.
Elk's stairwell. Deb runs down a few flights of stairs with her foot tripping and slowing her. The man Steven gains on her, lumbering as he may be. She doesn't have time to stop and look. He takes a swing at her. She exits through the ground level door just in time. Elk's exterior. Deb runs outside. Charlene's smoking next to her car.
There you are.
Charlene notices the panic on Deb's face. They jump into the car and leave. The bloodied hand of Steven grips the pool cue and he smashes it into the pavement. Interior Charlene's car, afternoon. Deb's in panic mode. They aren't talking. Deb checks the phone and spots a missed call from Hale. She tries to call, but nobody answers. Exterior park, afternoon. Deb walks up to Mark, who's leaning against his patrol car, eating tacos, waiting for action.
Jesus, Deb, you look great.
Deb steals a taco.
We need to talk.
Sure thing. I've been thinking the same thing, actually.
Okay, you go first.
You sure?
Sure.
Well, I feel crummy about everything at work. It wasn't my idea. I'm just sorry.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Besides, Josh is terrible. He doesn't hold a candle to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much everything.
Okay, what do you know about Scott and his...
Wait, actually, there's one other thing I've been meaning.
Deb rolls her eyes.
What is it?
It's...
What?
Sorry, it's been years.
Mark.
Okay, Well, I know we make a great team. And now that you're not on the force, I mean, technically you are, but you know.
Deb starts to realize what's coming, but she doesn't want to admit it.
I don't know, I know there's always been a chemistry.
Deb stares at the ground.
I just wanted to know if maybe we could be more than coworkers. And I totally understand. I can tell you're not
Deb
happy
turns
with...
around.
Mark, stop.
Deb's in disbelief. Her trust in the institution of friendship has been destroyed. She walks away. Mark throws his bag of tacos at the ground. Deb's home afternoon. Deb gets home. The film is running. Hale's guitar is missing, as are her clothes. Deb checks in the bedroom and sees no sign of Hale. Deb is alone. The doorbell rings. Deb goes to check on it, and standing in her living room is Sherry.
Can we talk?
Title: 6 months later. Interior. If that was like an episode, man, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a great ending to an episode.
And maybe who knows? Who knows how this is?
You never know.
Never know.
Interior Luke's house afternoon. Deb and Luke are in the kitchen together. Deb's mixing a box of Jell-O. Sherry's sitting on the couch quietly, but having a nice time. Luke looks worn down, but he's trying.
You know, I really don't know why your grandmother always wanted to put everything in gelatin. It doesn't even taste good.
And why am I mixing this?
Because your father asked you to.
All right, Dad.
Dan walks through the front door with a couple of movies in hand.
Okay, the box didn't have the things y'all asked for, so...
Oh, no.
So I got Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Dante's Peak.
Jesus Christ, Dan. Oh, sorry.
No, Jesus Christ, Dan says it all.
Jesus Christ, Dan. Oh, man. Oh, I think I need a bite to eat or something. My brain is like, okay.
God damn it, Dan.
Damn it, Dan. Damn it,
Jesus
Dan.
Christ, Dan.
Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry. Jesus Christ, Dan. This is supposed to be family movie night.
Killer Clowns sounds scary. I don't know about the other one. Dante's the devil, though, so... It's not about the devil. Although Pierce Brosnan is devilishly handsome.
Okay. Dan, take over for me. I think I have a couple of movies in my room.
Dan grabs the spatula and keeps turning away as Deb walks down the hall.
How you doing, Dad? How's Deb? She's good. We're good. I'm so glad she decided not to run away to college. You know how those sorority girls are. Yeah, that's good to hear. What else are we putting in this mold? Carrots, chicken, peas, mayonnaise.
That sounds revolting.
It's not great.
Deb comes back in with a home video on VHS.
This is all I had.
Have you been holding on to that since childhood?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, what's on it? Does the VHS player still work?
It's called a VCR, Nimrod.
We're both millennial. You don't need to out 90s me.
Hey, I don't have much going on these days. Let me have this. Help me hook this thing up.
Deb and Dan go over to the... This is actually a great scene to grab a snack in. So.
Yeah.
Deb and Dan go over to the TV. Dan hooks up the VCR. Deb inserts the old VHS and hits play.
Oh, Deb, you remember this? When we got that laser tag thing? We thought we were in a James Bond movie.
Where did you find this?
Oh, I've kept all our old tapes in the attic. Figured since you had the VHS thing hooked up, we could watch all of this.
Deb smiles and sits down.
Look how you're holding the gun. Maybe you were always meant to be a police officer.
I don't know about that, Dad.
The video cuts to a high school talent show.
Oh, shit! Oh, I remember this. I couldn't get the camera to work, so we missed the first 20 minutes, but I got it just in time for you and your friend. What was her name?
Anastasia.
That German exchange student? She lived with us for a bit, remember? Is that right?
Yeah.
Young Deb and Anastasia do a little dance and are terrible. But they're having fun, and you can see a twinkle in their eyes when they look at each other. The camera cuts to Christmas. Luke is holding the camera.
Hello, everyone. This is Christmas Day 1997. We've got Deb and Danny here. It's a nice 53 degrees outside. A bit warmer than usual, but nice.
Why did we used to think we were on the news?
Hush, Deb. These are important historical documents. Oh, what?
Oh, God.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
Jesus. Trying to plug in the computer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep, and that's where my script is. So hold on one second. Sorry.
Was that an Anastasia? Was that a Malcolm in the Middle ref? Like,
No, so
shout
it's
out?
I had one of my first crushes in high school was a German exchange student named Anastasia. And
Oh, wow, we had
nice.
German exchange students when I was a kid.
yeah, I mean she was really cool.
Wow.
She was one of the first people that like showed any. But I only knew her for like a month. She was one of the artsy kids, and then she got sent back to Germany. But she was one of the first like people that potentially seemed like she was returning favor towards me. So that made me feel validated, and then she moved back to Germany. So.
You know what? I know exactly how you feel.
It's like
exactly.
That's
but
cute.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, I thought of your, the Russian.
Now we could change the name.
Oh, yeah.
That would be funny as a nice little reference.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be a little Easter egg.
Sorry, I didn't meant to get off track. I just, was curious.
No. Yeah.
Okay, top of 108.
All right. There's a forecasted high of 55, but some rain, so hopefully it won't ruin our movie night. We hear Prancer is doing really well at the box office.
Deb and Dan laugh. Deb scoots closer to Dan. Sherry smiles at her first real glimpse of what a real family feels like. They all continue to watch the films into the evening. Interior Deb's bedroom evening. Deb's watching Man Calls His Daughter a Slut on live TV on repeat. She gets curious and searches the title. There are several articles talking about how terrible the father is, but the further it gets into the search results, the darker it gets. Deb clicks on a link titled Slut is Right to be Shamed, which takes her to a forum where hundreds of men denigrate Sherry and salute the father. Deb's eyes well up. She watches the clip of Sherry being thrown out of the car. She clicks out of the window and searches YouTube for Hale's band. There's a recent video of them playing a concert with the film playing behind them. Hale seems very happy and successful. She closes her computer and thinks before falling asleep. Interior bedroom morning. Deb's bedroom morning. Deb notices something in the drop-off video. She pauses on a single frame that shows the front of the car. The hood ornament is bent backwards, exactly like the hood ornament that she and Hale accidentally bent backwards in the barn that one night. Sherry knocks.
Hey, Sherry.
Can I come in?
Sure. Of course.
Sherry and Deb sit across from each other.
Dad! Snacks! Are you okay?
Fuck no.
Deb tilts her head. Luke drops off some snacks for the girls. He exits the room.
I mean, I'm doing so much better thanks to you. I just feel guilty seeing your family. I don't know, even before all of this, I never was able to be myself, especially around those cops and that lawyer and that two-faced Angela.
I knew you were in shock.
In shock, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm in shock at the world we live in. But hell, ain't nobody listening to me, even if I was gonna talk. What the hell's the point?
I'm battling with that myself.
Thank you, Deb.
Can you tell me what happened?
The girls and I were getting ready to go to Temple and find some military boys. Just blow off some steam. We were walking back to the car when a rag went over my face and I passed out.
That was 8 months ago?
Yeah.
I'm so fucking sorry.
Yeah. I didn't get to see him. I really didn't see anything the entire time I was there. Jesus, I don't even want to say what happened. I know how it will sound.
I believe you.
I know. I only know bits and pieces. I think he had us drugged the whole time. I don't remember much. I remember the box spring. I remember the shackles cutting into my legs. Do you know what it's like to have your memory taken from you? And then you just come out and you're a totally different person. You don't even know who you were to begin with.
I do.
My father, I'm sorry, I'm probably not saying anything helpful. I'm not trying to be misleading.
No, it's okay. When I was a kid, when I was like 14, I had to take my brother and run away with him. I got a job by lying about my age. That led me on this path that I'm on now, whatever that is. But anyway, what I'm saying is, when I saw your eyes on the news, I knew that was a woman not being let out. It took me a long time to realize what that was. I know you're not lying.
Nobody knows who I am. I don't even. I'm nobody.
It's okay. Believe me. I know this feeling.
Gets up and closes the bedroom door.
My entire childhood was spent protecting myself from my stepfather. I think we've changed it to uncle now, right? Yeah. Protecting myself from my uncle. Unsuccessfully most times. When my brother and me got out, things started to feel like what people might call normal. The hardest thing for me wasn't the abuse. It wasn't even not being accepted by my father or anyone in the system that is supposed to protect us. It was...
I don't know who I am underneath it all.
I was just trying to survive. Is there really someone underneath the trauma? The person I could have been was taken away from me.
Yep, I know.
I was grieving the person I never got to be.
And then when you finally get out, when you get your feet under you and back home where you're supposed to feel safe, you realize you don't know anyone around you. Everyone feels so fake. So how could a real person let any of this happen?
How could another human sit by and let other people treat you this way? Who are these people? Who am I?
Sherry and Deb sit together holding each other's hands.
You're the woman that's going to stop all of this.
Deb smiles.
Seriously, the world needs you. I need you to put a stop to this fuckery. I keep trying to speak up and all of these guys are speaking over me, speaking for me. None of them know a damn thing. I want to show them that if they just showed some goddamn empathy, that we could actually make this fucking thing work.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Sorry, I don't usually cuss this much.
No, I do.
Oh, thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
What can we do?
Deb thinks to herself and grows a sinister smile on her face. Interior Luke's house, afternoon. Deb runs up to Dan in the middle of a live stream.
Deb, can I steal your Dan, can I steal your stream?
Sure. Wait, what?
Exterior streets, late afternoon. Deb drives down the lonely streets. She blasts through the checkpoints. She drives through downtown, past the police station. She drives through the neighborhood, past the oil rigs. Exterior barn, afternoon. She winds up at the end of the pasture with the barn. Deb picks up her phone.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, hey, shut up. I'm over it. I need you to come out to the pin. I need you to come out to the pin I'm about to send you. Don't fucking ask questions. Just get out here.
Deb texts Dan. You ready? Dan appears appears on the live stream.
All right, guys, this is pretty cool. Y'all ever seen those live cop shows? Well, my cop sister is about to take you on a real case, right here and now.
The live stream switches over to Deb, holding her phone in selfie mode, already walking toward the barn. The sun is starting to set.
Hey everyone, I'm Deb, Dan's older sister. A few months ago, I was tracking down leads in the Binus case you all may have heard about. I kept getting railroaded by the people around me. I couldn't figure out why until I saw that video of Sherry being dropped off. My wife and I were fooling around, sorry Dan, in this abandoned barn that I had seen from the road. The car that was in the video was the same one in this barn.
Deb gets close to the barn, the doors are closed.
And if that car is in here, in the barn that belongs to this well-connected family, we're gonna blow this whole fucking thing open. Maybe then those good old boys will stop.
Deb opens the barn and there is no car. However, she's hit with a... Oh, what happened here?
I don't know.
Maybe a
Powerful, terrible stench.
It's a powerful, terrible smell.
I actually think it is supposed to be smell.
I just
think it
remember
actually
like
is.
reading it and being like, wait, what? I'm like,
Yeah,
I bet
think
it's
it
a
is.
smell. It's got to be
I
a
think
smell.
it is. I think it is.
I kind of like it just as is. She's hit with a powerful terrible.
Yeah, powerful, terrible. Yes.
I wouldn't want that.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Yeah, okay. Damn. Maybe he dumped the car, but fuck, here we go. Fuck, it smells like a meth lab in here.
It's dark by now. The audience isn't sure what to think. There are comments from men telling her that she's crazy. Women slowly start to pour in and root for her.
All right, well, let's look around.
Deb turns her phone's flashlight on. She looks around, illuminating cobwebs, dust, hay bales. Suddenly, a pool of blood dripping from upstairs. She climbs the ladder to the loft. She slowly rounds the corners. It's eerily quiet. The floorboards creak. She passes by a few old cigars. Suddenly, she hears an electrical hum. She follows the noise around a corner to an old fridge that's half open and leaking. She opens the fridge door and reveals gallons of bags of milk, each dated with and named after the missing girls.
Jesus.
She looks at the dates.
Most recent one is like 2 weeks ago.
The comments go wild. She finds a trail of blood nearby and follows. It rounds the corner of a hay bale. The blood is smeared and mixed up with rat droppings and dust. The hay bales open up. She pans the camera up. The live stream freezes. Deb's flashlight has drained the battery. She turns the phone back on and manages to reset the flashlight. She's standing in front of two rusty box spring mattresses, bloody and worn down. There are metal restraints bolted to the floorboards. There's an IV and heart monitor by each bed. The machines connected to lifeless, pregnant bodies of the missing girls.
Oh, fuck.
Deb is in shock. A camera obscura of Steve, the man from the film, appears on the wall in front of her. Deb jumps and swings around. Nothing is there. She turns back and captures an endless hallway with pregnant women tied to the walls, bleeding. There are rusted barrels. This is the horror part of the movie, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
There are rusted barrels sitting in front of each other, of the women. Interior Deb's childhood Christmas party. Deb, as a child in the 90s, is filmed by home VHS tape. Is being shown how to play with an easy bake oven, although she clearly wants to play with the Power Rangers toy. Deb in high school is talking to a boy. She's nervous.
Oh, I thought you were gay.
Deb in college with one of her roommates is trying to cook dinner. She's all dolled up and not comfortable. The meal arrives and her friends gag at how nasty the food is. She laughs, but is undeniably hurt. Deb is at the end of the breeding hallway. At the end of the hallway, Steve sits at a table. A naked woman with her breasts cut off. I don't know how we're gonna do that.
Whoa!
Delivers a steak to Steve, who is gladly starts to cut away.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the natural state.
Oh no, sorry, that's
Oh, Steve. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't remember who was who.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, Steve's the son of Scott.
Yes.
Psycho.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deb cries.
Jesus.
No.
The film stops. Interior Luke's house night. That's his only line in the whole thing, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just said
That's great.
Scott, Steve.
Yeah.
1995. The camera rounds the corner to see Deb sitting sheepishly on the floor against the couch. An older, dirty-looking man, Rusk, sits on the couch with a cigar in his hand.
You probably don't want to hear this. That mother of yours can suck the chrome off a ball hitch. I bet you're a spinner. Guess we'll find out one day. Not that you fucking care about what I have to say. Nobody ever does. You're all good for nothing. Aw, hell, go get me some beer, girl. Least you can do for all the work I do around here.
Interior Dan's bedroom, morning 1996. Deb helps Dan close his childish-looking suitcase. Deb's about 14.
You almost got it. Okay. When we get there, we're gonna go straight to McDonald's, okay?
Okay.
I've got Mom's keys.
Deb hears Russ coming in through the garage door.
Dad's keys, I guess I should say.
Is that Rusk?
Yeah, he's not supposed to be home yet. Okay, hurry.
Deb picks up the suitcase and tosses it out the window.
Luce! Daddy's home.
Rusk starts to come down the hallway. Deb helps Dan out the window.
Let's go to the car, okay?
Rusk walks past the door. Deb freezes. Rusk walks back in.
Y'all supposed to be in school?
Yeah, just picking up some stuff for Dan.
Well, it's just us home alone. Let me give you a hand.
Interior bar evening. Deb stares at Steve in the film. He's turned into Rusk. He's turned into Scott. He's turned into the shadow of a man in a cowboy hat. The man tips the hat at Deb. The shadow walks up to Deb, puts his hand on her head, and forces her to kneel. Interior barn, afternoon. Mark pulls up in his cop car, sirens blaring. He goes into the barn and turns on a light switch. He walks inside. He turns a corner and finds multiple guns on the wall next to slogans like "Protect the Children" and "Got Milk" written in marker. He walks upstairs to find Deb. She's collapsed.
I was never here. I'm here for him. I'm only here for him.
Mark calls on his walkie. Text reads, 1 year later. Interior news studio, green room, evening. Sherry films Deb sitting up in the makeup chair. Both of them are having fun.
You nervous?
I'd like to get this over with.
Live it up. You're the sheriff. Hale should be jealous. She's not on TV.
We're not competing.
We all have our 15 minutes.
A whole 15. Incredible.
You got this. You're Sheriff Debbie.
I don't know what that means.
Interior news studio, evening. Deb and Sherry sit in a fake but comfortable living room setting. Sherry's playing with a plastic plant next to her that's next to her chair. Deb is focused on the camera pointed at her. Scott, the charismatic TV pastor dressed in cowboy boots and hat, comes in from behind the cameras. Marissa, the assistant, do I have her name in there? Yeah, anyway. Marissa puts the microphone on him. He talks past her.
Hey, ladies. Thanks for coming on this show. Your story is absolutely compelling. The producer filled you in on everything?
Yes.
Great. Thanks again for doing this. We should bring these girls some justice. I don't need to tell you.
Someone shouts that they're back in 30. Scott sits down across from the women. Sherry's anxious but excited. Deb notices and holds her hand. The light on the camera goes from red to green.
And we're back with my hotly anticipated interview abductee, Sherry Binas. And for the first time on television, the woman who saw the crimes happening before anyone else, Sheriff Deb. Thank you for joining me, and praise the Lord.
Glad to be here.
Now, you both have a book coming out going into detail about Sherry's abduction and holding. Let's remind our audience how you got here.
The newscast shows the video of Sherry being thrown out of the car in front of the hospital.
Now, freeze it right there.
The image freezes on the moment Sherry looks back at her captor. Sherry's visibly upset.
Could we not re-traumatize this woman?
So you were kidnapped, drugged, raped, and essentially left for dead that night. What was going through your mind in this moment?
Sherry doesn't want.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be stage direction. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's been like over a year since I've looked at this script. So.
Sure, no.
Yeah, it's been a while
Sherry doesn't want
since
to talk right
we've
now.
Sherry
visited
doesn't want to
this.
look
Yeah.
at the
Sherry doesn't want to look at the screen.
Sherry doesn't want to look at the screen right now. Whole different world now.
Cherry doesn't want.
Okay.
Penny Dreadful.
Go ahead and read that, Cameron, just to give me a second. Well, she was drugged. The only thing on her mind was survival.
Why did he decide to let you go?
Mr. Scott, surely you covered the story when it happened. Do you not remember?
Oh, yes, but I want to hear it in her own words.
It's okay, Deb. I was having a miscarriage, so I had outlived his usefulness.
Scott acts as though he's listening closely. Deb rolls her eyes and looks at Sherry. She looks at the camera.
It's always about usefulness, huh?
Deb, let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
Do you ever wonder what it would have happened if you had acted sooner? Perhaps the other girls would still be alive. Do you dwell on that?
Deb and Sherry share a grimace and a smile.
Can I tell you why I decided to give you the time of day?
My good looks.
Because I realized the value of people like me is only relative to how useful we are to people like you.
That's what living in a society is, Deb.
Only because you made it that way.
Oh, speak for yourself.
We tried. We couldn't.
Tell us how you really feel.
If you want to help stop guys like this from sucking up all the oxygen in the room, buy our book.
So what else did you want to talk about? Our favorite red carpet looks? I have opinions.
Interior bookstore afternoon. Sherry and Deb are watching a woman react to the news clip on their phone. They're sitting at a table where they're taking a break from signing books. There's not a super huge line, but there's a decent one.
It was a waste of time. Probably did more harm than good.
I know. They didn't even do a good cooking segment. I really wanted some of that TV food.
Deb looks at the line and notices a woman looking suspicious in the background. She's looking over her shoulder, trying not to be noticed. Exterior bookstore afternoon. Just outside the bookstore, the kidnapper's car sits across the parked across the street.
Hey, Sherry, could you get me a pen? Another pen? Mine died.
Sure.
Deb meets with a couple of women and signs their books while keeping an eye on the suspicious-looking woman who darts behind a corner. As she signs the last book, Deb follows the woman around the corner. The woman is facing away and turns around slowly. She takes her hoodie down. She's wearing dark sunglasses. The woman approaches. Deb tenses.
Can I help you?
The woman puts her hand in her hoodie and pulls out a copy of Deb's book. When the woman opens her mouth, Deb recognizes the voice.
I got something to tell you.
You decide to talk?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been really hard.
Deb is surprised at her candor.
I was fucking up before, messed up in the head or something. I'm sorry.
Oh, Georgia, it's okay. Are you okay?
No. No, you were right. I'm sorry. I saw you on TV. I fucked up. It took so long for me to realize he was a fucker.
Hey, I'm here. None of us are on a timeline. Talk to me, okay?
Yeah, okay. So, Samson, fuck, I can't even say it.
Deb's eyes light up.
You know what? You don't have to say everything right now. Let me get you some coffee.
Okay, yeah.
Deb puts her arm around Georgia and starts to walk toward the door.
Oh, hey,
Yeah?
I have the keys to his car. It's parked out front. There's a bunch of shit in there you'll want to take a look at.
Deb is speechless. She looks through the window of the bookstore and sure enough, the car is right there. Deb smiles and Sherry walks up behind her.
Let's get him, ladies.
There we go, guys.
Woo!
That's a whole long movie.
3 hours later.
On the dot.
With intermission, yeah.
Marvelous.
With intermission and lots of hemming and hawing and you know.
Grabbing snacks.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. I
Wow.
sure dang appreciate you.
Oh my god, ditto.
Thoughts? Any
Yeah.
thoughts? Notes?
Yeah, that was fun.
Absolutely.
That was so much fun.
I mean, disturbing, but fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Unfortunately, but that is great how, yeah, it was. So, what's next?
As I was reading it, I was just reliving how difficult it is for, like, because the way Reagan and I set the thing up originally, it was like, okay, the idea of the patriarchy, it feels like a conspiracy because it literally is like a conspiracy. So that's how we were like,
Exactly.
okay, well, like a political thriller, like there's a true crime element. She uncovers this big conspiracy, but like it's so hard to have, just like they said in the script, the bad guy is an amorphous, just kind of evil. Like there's nothing,
Right.
There's no specific thing. There's not like a specific bad guy or anything. There is,
Right.
but like it's
There is,
just
but
like it's a cloud that she's chasing after, and it's
Right.
It's hard to figure that out, but I mean,
Spider Web Cloud.
yeah, but it's a real issue, you know. So
Yeah, because once it's like it's if you're just looking at this story just as, for what it is, just for the sake of it being just this film, just this story without any sort of symbolism or it at all, I think it stands alone as just a really cool, interesting psychological thriller but when you put our all of the yeah, I don't know. I think it's and of course, there's always like it could be a limited series. It would basically be like, a true detective.
Yeah. The blueprint of that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as a film, it's I don't know. I think it says a lot without it being like so on the nose or saying like this is like not that, I mean, if it's not a movie called Men about how horrible men are, which I love that film, but I'm just saying like it's not something that is going to make anyone, I think, even if they're not looking at it from that lens, they would be able to enjoy this film without even knowing that they're looking at something that's actually and not that I'm saying like, I mean, like, I think that people might kind of like Deb. I think it can take the audience on the same journey as Deb, where, it's like in the beginning, she doesn't think anything about men or the guys or
she's not been exposed to that. She's just been in survival mode. She doesn't think about society or anything.
Right. And being even all the jokes and all the stuff that she's dealt with pretty much her whole life, she's pretty much had blinders on to all that, and she's just like been one of the guys. That's all she's ever really thought in her mind, was that that's who she was. And then when all of this starts to happen and when she's given a little bit of power and she starts to feel, what starts to happen as a woman who's given a little bit of power, is they're going to start knocking you down a few rungs, just and then everything starts to sort of unfold for her there. And I think that if you're going into this as the audience, not that I like to really even think about what the audience is thinking really, but I know that I want people to feel things, but if you're coming into it from a standpoint of you're not even aware of the patriarchy, or you even really know what that is or what that means, I think, watching this, you'll kind of start to go, wait a minute. Yeah.
That does sound
I've dealt with that. I've felt that. Oh yeah, I've had a guy say that to me. Oh, I've been treated that way. Oh, so I think it's, I don't know. I think it,
one thing that I like about it so much is that there are so many levels of the misogyny. Like for example, the
right.
Mark character seems like a totally great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a totally normal guy.
And
I was reading it and I didn't see that coming. I was like, oh shit, I'm that guy.
That's how we feel.
And I feel like, it's always like, he's sort of like the least. It's forgivable, but you're like, really, man, you didn't pick up on.
Think about
Come on.
But
But there's so many levels of like the people that are like perpetrating these horrible things and the people that are sort of complicit in it, and then maybe some of the police force that like don't really know, but they're kind of like,
right,
something bad's probably happening, but they're giving us donations, so we're gonna look the other way.
Yeah,
boys will be boys.
Yeah, boys. The doctor was just ridiculous.
Right. But that's literally.
I guarantee you. I ask my wife, and she'll be like, "Yeah, there's something like that."
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
can imagine it.
I worked in an OBGYN's office, and some of those conversations would curl your hair.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Yeah.
When I read this script last night, I like you were saying, Ray, and I agree. For somebody that has no idea what this was even going to be, and and it was awesome. But I agree. It's not like it wasn't. I never felt like it was like spoon feeding me any kind of like
propaganda.
Yeah. It just kind of naturally, it was like, wow, this is fucked up, and also like happening.
Yeah.
Out there somewhere.
So the whole guy that is kidnapping the women, that was based on a story that came out. It was like a couple of months before we started writing. It was based on a real guy that I forget where he was, but he was kidnapping women, and he had built a concrete little shack in his basement, and he had
Ohio, I think.
Maybe.
Oh,
he wasn't like impregnating them or anything, but he was like keeping them.
That's a nice touch, though, to the storyline. I have to say, there was a lot of like, oh, I'm sure you heard me, but I'm just like, reactions that like, I did not see this coming, and it was very well done in that. I have to say, like, yeah.
So
thank you. Yeah, I know it.
Because you think it's fake, man, but it's not. That's the sickening part, and we have to acknowledge that.
The dad,
right?
The dad, like I said, one of my favorite parts as a writer.
Yeah.
The dad that's like, I didn't raise no slut.
Right? And it's literally, and the real thing is that if that could I could totally see that being like a real person. I mean, there's and unfortunately there's more of them out there than you, and I don't want to say that, there's a lot of them out there. Unfortunately.
They're allowed to be now.
Yeah, and there's and there's going
a lot
to
of crazy people in my travels.
Yes,
and
yes.
I'm like, holy shit! I know. I'm just gonna like, be cool around you.
Right.
Move on. Like,
right. Yeah, literal survival. So if you have to live in a town like this with these people your whole life, and you're gonna have a different way of coping. You're gonna have different mechanisms that you put in place to get through. And I think this script touches on a lot, like we said, the different layers of misogyny, the different layers of because that's the thing, is that a lot of women, and we here in LA, I've talked about this some before, like in my stand-up and stuff, but there's like, we're really, out here in LA, they call us like, we're woke, we're into all the things that are going on, everybody's, and then you go to these other places where that we are actually like, you know, here we've got abortion is enshrined in our Constitution in California, and you know all of this, but we have these other states that we are, you know, protesting for and marching for, and you know, now it's down to that's what we're doing here because everyone says, oh, you're safe there and whatever, but it's like oh my God, I just totally fucking dropped the point that
It's okay.
it was a really good
Well,
point that I was trying to make. My brain went off
the
the
only
rails.
thing that I can think of is, or what made me think of that is that it's like when you live in a city that's infrastructure and its society is built in this certain way, and if you're part of the group that, like, if you're white, middle class, whatever, that's not asking questions, there's no reason for you to suspect that it's built on sinister
Well, actually,
things.
what I remember what I was going to say now is that sometimes it can be conversely the opposite, where we're here going like rah rah rah, and then you go to a smaller town or somewhere in the South or in any of these states where this is actually happening, and trust me, everyone, you know, we're have an audience of people that are sitting there going, I'm aware, I'm angry, I'm mad, but also there is a lack of awareness to a certain degree, or just a lack of really understanding what their actual laws and rights really are, really, because a lot of people just aren't tuning into the news and aren't paying attention and don't know what's going on until something were to happen to them, like say they were to get pregnant and then go, oh, I'm just going to call up my local abortion. So what? I can't have an abortion. And so there are some people out there like that, but it's I think that, you know, it's I didn't mean to trivialize it in that way, but I think that, you know, it's like for some people, they don't, you know, they're not going to go to go see a movie or watch a film or turn something on that is going to put it to them as like, this is a political film, or this is an activism film, or this is, because they don't go for that type of stuff. They don't go for that type of material. But if they're if they love horror movies, or they love thrillers, or they love whatever, and they're going to sit down and watch something like this and then go, oh shit, like, oh, like that's actually like really fucking happening, and that makes it even more fucking scary.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
could be my
Yeah.
friend or me.
Or
You
me.
know?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So
Well, and that's the thing. There's a as a middle-aged white guy, I too often I seem to that wears a lot of flannel. I just get there are so many people that just think that I'm one of y'all. You're
right.
one of us. And so
Right.
they'll just start saying shit.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
just like, and I'm just like, oh no, fuckhead. I don't, nope, not me. And they're like, oh.
Yep.
So it's like there's a whole layer, even in a place like California, there's
Oh
still
yeah.
neighborhoods you go to with Trump flags.
Oh, trust me.
There's still those places with an upside down American flag hanging
Oh yeah.
from right near my buddy's place in Hollywood. Like
There's Francis's flannel
there
there.
are
Flannel.
it's and even in the
Getting
places
cold.
where when you might have a law on the books that protects a certain subset or certain cultures or whatever. You can't just beat the shit out of a trans person, because you can't beat the
Right.
shit out of anybody. Good
Right.
luck getting a fucking cop to respond to it, though. The law is
Exactly.
on the books. The
Right.
law exists. It's there
Right.
to protect people ostensibly, but if you don't have someone that's going to enforce those laws, that's
Yep.
an entirely different thing. And that's like what's happened with
Yeah.
these cops and this thing. There's
Exactly.
laws against hurting women. But
Right.
if you're not going to have, if the cop force just thinks it's all in good fun, and you know,
Yep.
them are laws written
One of
by
them
people
own.
in DC, not by us.
Right.
That's fun.
Well, and that's the thing
Yeah.
And there's
about like what is it called? It's weaponized misogyny. What was it? Misogynistic terrorism. There's a whole Wikipedia page about it.
yeah.
Oh
But,
Jesus, of course.
uh,
That's like femicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole thing that, like, and there are
Christ,
terrible,
Dan.
there are terrible things that are so horrific that you don't even want to admit that they could be happening. You know, like,
Right.
so, like, if you can, I mean, even as like regular nice cops that might occasionally hit on their lesbian friends, Like, they don't even want to.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily evil, so they don't want to think
Right.
that evil exists, or it could be their friends or people that they know. So they're
Right.
like, I'd rather live in this plausible deniability, and then like, what's the likelihood that that guy is actually doing anything bad?
That nice boy Ted. He just because he drives a windowless van, he's so handsome.
Yeah. He's a nice guy.
He's a nice boy.
He's a nice boy.
He helped me. That nice boy Jeffrey helped me bring my groceries up the stairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
More of this.
Absolutely.
And I'll send. We'll upload this to YouTube, and then y'all can hear it with the sound, the music in the background
Sweet.
and stuff. And
Oh, I know. That's yeah.
I
That's
was
gonna
able
be
to
really
hear it
cool.
because it's on my computer, but like it adds a whole fun tone to it. But yeah, it's
I
so
bet.
wonderful to hear this spoken. You know, just to hear
Yeah.
it out and especially to hear your reactions too. That was really nice.
Yeah. I gotta say this. Not that I didn't expect it to go well, but this went even better
You know
than
what
I
would be really
was.
cool in the future if Ripple gets big enough to an audience for our I don't know if people like subscribe. I don't know the business model.
Yeah,
behind
like
it,
a
but if we
Patreon
get,
kind of
like,
thing, but
patrons or subscribers or something, we could invite them into the table reads to be like an actual audience. So that
ooh, that's a great, yeah.
we could actually get their reactions, cold. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
If they pay enough, maybe they can have a line or two.
Wow.
Exactly.
All right, we'll put
Put
it up on YouTube. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe.
Right. Smash the like, smash the button, subscribe.
Smash.
If they really
Right
pay
here.
enough, they'll be able to get a whole entire government office. Government organization.
No TikTok though.
No. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys. It was so fun.
It was a pleasure, you guys. That was fantastic.
It was amazing. You were all amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what the next steps are. We're just gonna keep making our.
We'll figure it out day by day.
Yep. We're moving forward.
The next step is I'm gonna take everything that I learned from this, and if you guys have any follow-up notes, please send them to me. And then on Wednesday, which is a few days from now, we're gonna do the Beat, which is our writing show, and then we'll fix up this film.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Every week.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Ami. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Cameron.
Of course, thank you.
You may always call on me for my services, for this
Yes.
was
And we will.
exceedingly pleasant.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, we will.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
All right, have a good safe weekend.
Nice to meet
Oh
you.
yeah,
girls.
Ami, we're going to the thing,
yeah,
right?
I'll text you.
Okay, text me. Okay.
Now football.
Every day is a matter of survival. I don't think you can help but be involved. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times.
It's political in the most profound sense, not as a weapon in the struggle, but as an instrument of understanding of the futility of struggle.
We will shape and mold this country, or it will not be molded and shaped at all anymore.